zero distraction, zero doubt, zero opposition.
Red Bull gives you wings. Red Bull gives you wings. Red Bull gives you wings.
เอาจริงคือผมเคยมาอยู่แล้วแบบว่าเคยไปอยู่ประมาณแบบ6 เดือนแล้วแบบเคยอยู่ที่นี่ประมาณ6 เดือนใช่ไหมเมื่อก่อนประมาณ3 ปีที่แล้วก็เอาจริงก็ไม่ได้รู้สึกสนุกเลยแบบว่าว้าวกับอะไรใหม่ๆเพราะว่าแบบว่ามันเคยมาแล้วอ่ะมันไม่ได้รู้สึกอะไรมากก็ธรรมดารู้สึกอยากเล่นเหมือนกันแต่ว่ามันก็แต่นั่งดูเนาะมันไม่ได้อยากนั่งดูอยู่แล้วมันอยากเล่นอยู่แล้วแบบว่าในใจก็นั่นแหละแต่ก็ภูมิใจกับทีมที่ทำได้
ทีมเราไปแข่งที่บราซิลทำผลงานได้ค่อนข้างดี แล้วก็สิ่งที่ได้มาจากรายการบราซิลก็คือผมรู้สึกว่าน่าจะเป็นความมั่นใจที่น้องๆได้เพิ่มเข้ามาสำหรับเด็กใหม่ซึ่งมันสำคัญมากสำหรับรายการเกาหลีเพราะเราแข่งระยะยาวครับก็ความมั่นใจจะเป็นสิ่งสำคัญครับจริงๆจากบราซิลจนถึงปัจจุบันผมรู้สึกว่าน้องยังพัฒนาได้น้อยค่อนข้างน้อยเพราะว่าเหมือนกับมันอยู่ในช่วงที่เขาไปถึงจุดที่เขารู้ว่าเขาความสามารถเขาเก่งแค่ไหนแล้วมันเป็นช่วงที่เขาเบิร์นเอาท์แล้วก็หาความสามารถใหม่ๆเพิ่มเติมอะไรเงี้ยในเกาหลีเราเลยรู้สึกว่าเรายังทำได้ไม่ดีพอเท่าไหร่ในตอนซ้อมหรืออะไรเงี้ยซึ่งเราก็พยายามอัปเกรดตรงนี้อยู่ซึ่งพยายามหาอะไรใหม่ๆให้เขาถ้าเขาเก่งในบราซิลทุกคนจะจับตาเขาแล้วก็ดูวิธีเล่นของเขาอะไรเงี้ยต้องพยายามแอดออนสิ่งใหม่ๆให้กับเขาเพื่อที่เล่นในรูปแบบใหม่สไตล์ใหม่อะไรแบบนี้ครับไม่งั้นเขาจะเล่นยากมาก
I want it now and I ain't never gon' back down. I want it now and I ain't never gon' back down. I am no regular citizen. Do you understand what's stopping me? If there's a problem, I gotta solve it. Straight to the top, I can't see myself falling. I gotta grab it, there's no time for stalling. Number one stunner, don't have other options. Now I'm fired up. I'm sorry, brother, your time's up. I see the top and I climb up. I came from the ashes, I rise up. Rise up, rise up. I want it now, I gotta rise up.
แค่อยากชนะแปลว่าเป้าหมายแค่อยากชนะแล้วก็อยากเรียกว่าไงหาความสนุกให้ตัวเองเฉยๆแล้วก็จะจบอันดับไหนก็อันดับหนึ่งแค่นั้นแหละผมว่ามันก็ไม่ยากนะ
อันนี้เป็นเรื่องที่ทีมทารอนอาจจะไม่เหมือนทีมอื่นเท่าไหร่คือเราจะไม่ได้มองว่าทีมนั้นเป็นใครเราจะมองว่าฮีโร่ตัวนั้นอะคือตัวอะไรในเกมเราจะไม่ได้เจาะจงคือผมก็รู้ว่ามีเพลเยอร์ชื่ออะไรบ้างอย่างถ้าถามว่าใครที่เก่งผมคิดว่า NV ในทีมซีเคทค่อนข้างเก่งแต่ว่าเราจะไม่เรียกชื่อเขาเล่นเจ็ตเราเรียกแค่เจ็ตเราจะเรียกแค่เลสเล่นโซวาอะไรเงี้ยเราจะเรียกแค่นั้นเลยเพราะว่าส่วนหนึ่งคือเราซ้อมอยู่ทุกวันเราไม่ได้จำชื่อใครเราโฟกัสไปที่ตำแหน่งนี้คือตัวอะไรเพื่อแจ้งข่าวเพื่อนมากกว่าเราเลยไม่ได้สำคัญว่าเขาจะเป็นใครหรือเขาจะชื่ออะไรเงี้ยไม่สำคัญว่าเขาจะทีมอะไรด้วยซ้ำเราแค่ทำในแบบแผนของเรา
ก็แค่ก็เคยเล่นกับเขาบ่อยแบบว่าเจอในแข่งบ่อยแล้วก็ในซ้อมเมื่อก่อนได้เจอบ่อยใช่ไหมล่ะมันก็เหมือนเป็นคู่แข่งกันนี่แหละครับแต่ว่าสำหรับผมนับถือในตัวฮัจเจซี่อยู่เพราะว่าแบบว่าเขาเป็นคนที่เอาจริงก็คืออายุเยอะแล้วยังแข่งเกมอยู่ผมแค่นี่แหละแค่แบบว่าแค่อายุเยอะแล้วยังแข่งเกมอยู่แล้วแบบว่าไม่สนแบบว่าคำด่าหรือคำดูถูกที่แบบว่าเขาแก่แล้วอะไรเงี้ยผมรู้สึกว่าเขาน่านับถือ
ผมคิดว่าสกอร์ที่เจอซีเคทที่กำลังจะเจอผมคิดว่าน่าจะประมาณ 2-1 อาจจะค่อนข้างยากนิดหน่อยเพราะว่าเรามีเวลาซ้อมค่อนข้างน้อยเวลาเตรียมตัวน้อยด้วยอะไรเงี้ยแล้วก็การปรับตัวน้องก็อาจจะยังช้าเกินไปอะไรเงี้ยซึ่งเขาก็ต้องแล้วเขาก็เองก็เก่งมีประสบการณ์เหมือนกันอะไรเงี้ยในเวทีระดับใหญ่ก็ผมคิดว่าคงไม่ใช่เกมที่ง่ายครับไม่มีเกมไหนง่ายในลีกนี้
Welcome back, everyone. We are continuing with day 2 of VCT Pacific. Our match number 2 for the night is going to be Talon versus Team Secret.
Yeah, this is a really exciting one. I mean, both teams kind of surprised us with some of their performances over at Lock-In. Talon in particular making a very deep run, challenging DRX, taking them all the way to a map 3, which was, like a 13-10 scoreline on 2 of those maps. So this is a very strong team, and we weren't sure how things were going to go for them.
Dubstep up by Market 2. They are just holding it down. Talon, this is not quite what we were expecting to see. They're dashing in blindly, and all it takes is a few more clicks for that flawless pistol win. Able to hold off Market, potentially defender spawn 2, but Dubstep, Borkum, They're all waking up, firing on these cylinders. NV2, one for everyone. Trying to play around the turret. A bit of a stinger kill. No spray transfer. It's too darn hard to control that recoil. And it's going to be a 4K for Jeremy to close this out 13-5. What a way for Team Secret to show up and kind of upset match predictions.
ไอ้บล็อกอันนี้เราดูมันมาเว้ยอันนี้เรามีข้อมูลมาเลยเพราะฉะนั้นมึงลองดูว่าแอสเซทเรามีข้อมูลเราเล่นแบบว่าไม่เป็นงูเป็นปลาอะไรเงี้ยไอ้บล็อกก็ลองดูแล้วกันรู้สึกว่าไอ้บล็อกก็อ่านทางง่ายถ้าเราไอ้บล็อกก็เราเป็นฝ่ายกันก่อนถ้ากันก่อนเหมือนเมื่อกี้เลยเราดูซะว่าวิญญาณวินพกอะต่อยมึงได้ยินป้อมหน้าบีก็จริงถูกปะแต่ตัวว่าสแกนเอเว้ยมันโดนเอมันปล่อยข่าวเอช็อกด่าตลอดยังไงก็จบเอเว้ยเหมือนเดิมเลยวิธีการเล่นแบบเมื่อกี้เหมือนเดิมเลยไอ้บล็อกกูก็ไม่ต่างจากเดิมมากหลักๆที่สำคัญก็คือว่ามึงต้องดูมีด KO มันจะเก็บมีดไว้ป้อมจังหวะสุดท้ายคือมันจะมีดบนเนทเอาทั้งบอมมีดบนดีฟอลต์บีเอาทั้งบอมคือมึงพยายามอย่าเล่นในบอมอ่ะถ้ามึงของพลาดของเฟลอะไรต้องมีคนสแปมจากลับเตอร์สักคนหนึ่งกูว่าตายพยายามยิงวอลให้แตกแค่พิษมึงนะเราสแปมวอลให้แตกตายเลยพยายามให้มันได้วางเพราะถ้าได้วางคือพุ่งตรงว่า100%ที่มันจะได้อะมึงโคตรแพนนะพยายามจะปล่อยให้มันวางเป็นไปได้ก็ไฟในบอมให้จบไปเลยเว้ยแบบคอร์สไฟยิงเจนดึงที่อะไรคอร์สไฟกันให้จบไปเลยเปิดม่านปุกปันมันปั้นม่านสู้ไปเลยเป็นแบบนั้นไปเลยมันจะสแกนจังหวะที่แบบเพื่อนออกหน้าบีปุ๊บไม่สแกนแล้วมันจะแบบว่ามึงจะต้องยิงเพื่อนมันกับมึงต้องโดนสแกนทั้งคู่เลยเพราะฉะนั้นระวังมันต้อง
ไอ้ default สแกน default เลย
ไม่ใช่สแกนเสาสูงที่ไม่ใช่ดีฟอลต์หน้าบีอะ
Well, we're going to have to wait and see how this pans out. Currently, Team Secret leading 1-0 against Talon Esports in this best of 3. Which APAC team will take their first victory here in VCT Pacific? We'll find out as we go into Icebox for map number 2.
Oh! Sushi catches a great timing there on the dubstep. Dubstep with the spike as well as the turret gonna finish him off, and Garnett's good for the last one. Ah, man.
Do they expect Cruz to come up from behind? Not quite.
Down A.
That's the spike dropped. Envy, only an operator to his name. He's locked into this corner too. Cruz is fully, well, at least should be fully aware of this. Not quite gonna get the quick scope that he's looking for. Cruz finishing off the final player, 5-1. Patty is already aware of this. Doesn't matter as Sushi Boy is pushing in from the right side. So much to consider, so many angles, and then a little bit of an operator duel between the Jet and the Killjoy as well. Peeking back into it, doesn't matter. He's just buying time for Sushi Boys to stick that defuse. This is that double controller. A high tide gone, a toxic screen comes up, and Patty continues to find heads. He's going full turret mode. Off of that classic, Envy is the only one left alive. A simple peek and Cruz instantly flicks over. There is that reckoning that you're talking about. And that's going to be so annoying for Dubstep to work with. And then the lockdown. Is this going to be it, Clinton? They're trying to push up, but they can't do it. Jeremy! Caught alone, eating a shock dart right at his feet. 13-8 for Talon.
แต่บางทีมันจะเอาเฟดมายืนฝั่งท็อปด้วยกัน2คนใน2-3จะสตาร์ทแบบนี้ตลอดเลยแล้วก็จะเอาเฟดบอกว่าพาวเลอร์เช็คดิฟเช็คดอกบอกว่าเหมือนทำข่าวอะแล้วกลับมารวมฝั่งบอททอมแล้วก็รวมตีจะเป็นภาคได้ไม่บ่อย
ทีไม่ได้ฟังเลยนี่
อันนี้คือดีฟอลต์นะจำดีฟอลต์ไว้นะมันจะเริ่มโดยการที่มันจะไปสตาร์ทฝั่งท็อป2ตัวจะมีไซเฟอร์กับเฟด
Well, 1-1 scoreline between Talon and Team Secret. Whoever takes it does get their first victory here. VCT Pacific gets to start on the first half, the top half of that scoreboard as we try to go through this round robin. We're going to be going to Fracture as the decider map. We're going to head right into the game with the casters.
The spike might be down, but he knows where Jesse Bash is going to be. Oh, Prowler right in front of him. All he needs is one crisp headshot. But Jesse Bash playing so safe with this. Look at how he ducks in and out of cover. It's down to 1v2, Dubstep. He is able to buy time. He's able to dance back and forth all over his grave. Jit Boys going to stick it because that's the only thing he can do, but an easy headshot and an easy 5-round win streak. Surely they don't know Envy is on this off angle. One spray, maybe two. Borkham to help, and the operator gone. Fox has to make this work. He got the triple before. Can he do it again? Borkham's just waiting for him though. And he cures that tap, goes in for a bit of a spray. Fox, please get off of it.
He didn't get to have.
Oh no! The pressure is on, he crouches! He sprays! The triple, but no time for the defuse! Here comes Cruz though, buying that time, but he has to go in now! Dubstep! Just locking down this angle. Oh, the lineups! One headshot though, and does he have enough time? I think he does. This is game over. A valiant effort, but alas.
ไม่ก็รู้สึกดีที่ได้กลับมาเล่นแต่ก็รู้สึกไม่ค่อยพอใจกับเพอร์ฟอร์แมนซ์ตัวเองเท่าไหร่จังหวะมันแปลกไปครับแล้วก็เล่นไม่เหมือนที่ซ้อมเลยแต่ก็ตอนนี้ก็พยายามแก้เอาจริงตอนซ้อมเราก็ได้ซ้อมน้อยนะช่วงแรกที่มาเกาหลีเพราะว่าเรามีถ่ายงานเยอะมากแล้วก็ไม่ค่อยได้ซ้อมมาเลยเอาจริงได้ถ้านับวันก็แทบจะไม่ถึงอาทิตย์ด้วยมั้งที่ได้ซ้อมกันส่วน KB ความเข้ากันในทีมในเกม FPL ผมว่าส่งผลอยู่แล้วแหละเพราะว่าเกมมันเล่นเป็นทีมเนาะแล้วพอเราเล่นกันเป็นทีมถ้าเกิดว่าเคมีมันไม่เข้ากันหรือว่าแบบว่ามันไม่ได้เงี้ยมันก็เล่นกันไม่เข้าขากัน
ในมุมมองพี่รู้สึกว่า เรื่องของอารมณ์ในเกมเป็นเรื่องที่ควบคุมไม่ได้มันมีแค่ขึ้นกับลงเท่านั้นถ้าเมื่อไหร่ก็ตามที่แบบว่าเราไม่สามารถควบคุมอารมณ์ตัวเองได้หรือแบบว่าเรารู้สึกว่าเราเล่นไม่ดีเลยอะไรก็ตามเงี้ยลองสร้างประโยชน์จากการที่เราเล่นไม่ดีให้กับเพื่อนแทนส่งของให้เพื่อนเดินเปิดให้เพื่อนทำทุกอย่างให้เพื่อนแบบว่าโยนโมเมนตัมนั้นไปให้เพื่อนจนกว่าโมเมนตัมของเราจะกลับมาถึงจังหวะนั้นค่อยใช้โมเมนตัมที่มันกลับมาเป็นของตัวเองก็คือแบบว่ากลับมามีสมาธิมีอารมณ์ที่มันแบบว่าเป็นอารมณ์บวกจังหวะดีไทมิ่งดีอะไรเงี้ยเป็นแบบนั้นซะมากกว่าเพราะว่าการที่เราจะควบคุมอารมณ์ในเกมได้จริงมันขึ้นอยู่กับแต่ละบุคคลบางคนได้รับความกดดันก็เล่นไม่ดีแต่กับบางคนอย่างในมุมของพี่เองก็พี่ยิ่งชอบเกมกดดันเพราะว่ายิ่งเกมกดดันพี่ยิ่งเก่งพี่ก็ไม่รู้ว่าทำไมเหมือนกันแต่ว่าพอยิ่งเกมแบบว่าเกมไม่กดดันทำให้พี่แบบรู้สึกไม่ได้ตั้งใจไม่ได้โฟกัสอะไรเงี้ยแต่ยิ่งเกมระดับสูงเกมชิงแชมป์เกมกดดันมันทำให้พี่รู้สึกว่าพี่โฟกัสกับมันมากกว่าจริงๆจุดที่พี่รู้สึกว่าเราควรจะปรับปรุงน่าจะเป็นเรื่องของการซ้อมนี่แหละมันเราพูดตรงว่าเรามีข้อเดียวที่เรารู้สึกว่ามันขาดไปก็คือเรื่องการซ้อมเราซ้อมน้อยมากแล้วก็การสื่อสารระหว่างแต่ละคนก็ยังแบบว่าไม่ได้ดีเท่าไหร่เราแบบว่าสื่อสารกันไม่เคลียร์ด้วยอะไรต่างๆด้วยซึ่งมันเป็นเรื่องในเกมมันน้อยมากปกติแต่ละทีมจะมีเรื่องในเกมเยอะยิงได้บ้างไม่ได้บ้างสื่อสารไม่ได้บ้างแต่จริงเราเป็นแค่เรื่องซ้อมเองเราแค่ต้องเคี่ยวกรรมมันเราเรียนรู้แล้วเราก็ต้องไปซ้อมแค่นั้นเองที่เราขาดไป
ผมว่าเราชนะได้อยู่แล้วแหละส่วนจะชนะยังไงก็คงต้องพกความมั่นใจไปเต็มร้อยแล้วมั้งถึงชนะได้แล้วก็จริงซ้อมตอนนี้ก็เริ่มมีแผนขึ้นมาแล้วก็ชนะได้แหละ
Come on, let's go!
Coming to you live from Seoul, South Korea. Welcome back to VALORANT Champions Tour Pacific. We are on week 4 right now. Match 18 starts now with two historic Korean teams facing off for the first time this season, T1 and Generation Gaming.
Yeah, that's pretty big as they make the century, and now the shock dart is in, comes Meteor. This is not going to be easy. Picks up one, does not make it two, and Gen G. Oh, they're pushing out of the door here, getting really aggressive, thinking there, but King going to take that down, but T1 are holding the site really well, ends up being a 2v1 as in he comes King, and is not able to pull that one off. Is high up. This is extremely aggressive, and immediately they're going to get shut down. King's got his own sheriff. He gets a 3K. First fire kill. There's another. Gotta kind of go in there as Goddead says, take me, witness me. And Munchkin will take down both of those kills. The push in, doesn't get it. Side player takes him down, but King is here. Anchoring the site with Goddead, and it's over. 13-5 on Ascent, a 13-5 on Haven. Gen G.
Welcome back to VCT Pacific. We just completed match 1 between the two Korean giants, and now we're going to go into match 2 with the two Japanese titans. All right. Well, the stage is ready to go. Let's see what's up.
Got a very interesting angle here, and they will not be able to take him out again 3 in a row. Bro pulls out a mega clutch here in the pistol round.
So aiming pressure now eliminated. 12 bullets in the clip, and half of the spike will be able to get this kill and the defuse.
Do we want to see Spot suggest, and on top of the boxes here, will it be flawless as he's like, please, just one gun, just anything.
Up into the smoke with the pop flash into the face, suggest lucky. Last about to get wrapped on the flank. Here for a while, but as he swings out of it, oh, it's into the meat grinder. No shot.
Fantastic for
No
Zeta, and
shot.
Dead picks up the 3K just to put the end to their misery. Zeta will pick up the 2-0 tonight as they defeat their Japanese.
Magandang hapon sa inyong lahat and welcome sa VCT Pacific 2023 Pacific
tweet kasi tinitweet niya ng mga tao.
Yeah, we're tweeting about it. Anyway, welcome to the 2023 Filipino broadcast. I'm your panel host for today, Ribixco, and together with me on the panel is Juicy, Brucey, and Raf. And alam ko, Monday ngayon, guys, may school at trabaho yung iba sa atin, pero Monday still means VALORANT action here sa VCT Pacific. So, kayo guys, kumusta naman yung Monday nyo so far?
Ang sayang magtrabaho ng Monday para sa VALORANT.
That's true. Raf?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
That's the answer. Thank you.
Yes.
Well, again, you know, we just had a really exciting weekend. So far this week, we had, we had Saturday, DRX versus PRX, Team Secret versus RRQ, and then yesterday, we just had the battle of Japan and Korea, which is Genji versus T1 and Zeta Division versus Detonation Focus Me, who again have not succeeded in securing their first win, so still at the bottom of our standings here. Pero, you know, looking at the standings so far, what are we seeing? Are we seeing a trend here? It looks like, you know, the Korea teams are definitely on top, but what does it say for the middle of the bracket?
More to come, as I have said on day one.
Totoo naman, Bruce, diba?
Yun naman talaga yung masasabi natin eh. More to come.
Yung sa top 1, 2, 3, good. Everybody else, more to come.
I mean, week 4 pa naman tayo. Malayo-layo pa. And yung exciting lang ngayon, kasi makikita natin yung Global Esports, Talon Esports, dalawang teams na more to come din.
More to come.
So we'll see more to come for these teams.
Ang dami namang nakatay pa din eh. Paper X, RQ, Team Secret. And again, just all these teams have... Oh, di ba sila good?
No, good.
Sabi mo nga eh, more to come pa.
Yes.
Itong mga teams na nabilang ko, I guess they still need that gentle push to really put them over the hill. Pero tingin ko yung sa bottom, I hate saying that, guys. I'm so sorry. They're really great, but
I mean, lahat ng teams.
More to come.
Yeah, more to come.
Sabi na.
Tama si Bruce. Buti na lang nandito si Bruce.
I mean,
buti na nandito ka rin.
Yeah, aww.
Ikaw rin rabi naman. Sorry.
It's, you know, it's unusual kasi, you know, we got the Cebuana duo here. But, I mean... well, I mean, like you said, the bottom 3, again, all these teams here are really, really good. There's no question why they made it all the way here to VCT Pacific. Pero ngayon, isa lang, you know, we only have one series today, pero this is a really important battle because, you know, they take the top 8 and 10 spot. Pero again, it is a really important battle here because this is a battle of which of these two teams can turn 0 into 1. So, all right, so our first match for today is, it is Global Esports versus Talon Esports.
Kung mananalo dito yung mabuting esports. Diba? Talon Esports.
Because they're both esports. Diba?
So,
di ko gets.
Di ko rin gets yun. May joke lang eh. Tinry ko lang
okay lang, Bruce. I got it. I got that one.
Thank you.
I'm sure someone out there got it too. Meron dyan. Yeah. But anyway, moving on to this match. So again, it is the first. This is going to be really important because this is going to be the first score for either of these teams because again, both of them still have not won a single match for today. So looking at it now, I'm going to say something a bit medyo, I wouldn't say controversial, but again, Talon Esports, alam ko, it has a special place in our heart. Pero,
Yesterday. Iba yung
medyo excited tayo eh.
Medyo excited tayo, pero iba yung mga laro kahapon kasi think about it, Japan team and Korea team na hindi naman siya super sabihin natin na sobrang weird na maglalaban talaga sila. There will be a time, pero para nakita rin natin yung mga power rankings of the other teams from from the two countries na parang okay, not saying na sila yung pinakamagaling as of the moment, pero like we've seen bits of how they get a one-up against the same team na same sila na country.
Sa totoo lang, parang expected outcome yung kahapon eh. Kasi dito na tayo sa point na yung mga adjustments, it should be there. And I feel like I'm speaking for, I guess, the middle of the pack too, our Paper X's, our Team Secret, our RRQ. Yes, they are good. But what really separates them from the teams that are again, like DRX, like Zeta, who's recently gotten into the top 3, and of course Genji, who's been super consistent. Yun siguro yung tanong natin for the coming weeks. Pero yung mga matches natin kahapon, I'm really happy that Genji have finally solidified themselves as a proper threat to the top, because again, for the longest time, we had questions, bakit yung configuration nila ganito? Bakit si King naging controller and sentinel at times na dapat siguro siya yung nagja-jet and stuff like that. But of course, we have Crow here on the screen who's been incredibly flexible and has had the ability to pop off.
Exactly, and I mean, you're going into our second matchup of yesterday, Zeta Division versus Detonation Focus Me. Nag 2-0 sila, and even though I was all for Team Zeta, but I was feeling really hopeful for DFM, diba Bruce?
Yeah, we were super hopeful. Tinry talaga natin lahat ng numbers na ipasok na they could find a way. Wala. Boom.
Alam mo, I'm never letting it go. Sabi ni Reby, I'm hopeful for DFM. Pero yung pick niya kahapon, Zeta Division. Ano ba talaga?
Alam mo yun, yung deep in your heart, you're still rooting for them. Pero at the end of the day, I already trust in Zeta's, potential there.
So iba pa din yung pinili mo, yung ibig sabihin.
Anime lover kasi si Reby, so hindi siya sure kung saang Japanese team yun.
Baka mag-lang sa ulo.
Well, I mean, talking about, the jets that you were talking about just now, Raf, alam natin na our Japanese teams tend to play and find success, in Japanese meta because they really stand by it. Pero dito, we saw two very powerful Korean jets from T1 and Genji. They were able to go online. We saw there, but with DFM having sold them and even suggest at, sa tingin ko parang they didn't manage to get them online. And here we have two Japanese teams going against each other, and I feel like those two players should have been the differential here, and that's why I kind of felt DFM had that upper leg over Zeta.
Yeah, that's one. I voted for DFM then because,
pa si Bruce.
Yeah,
diba? Nag-DFM.
Loyal. Pero just trying to go for the underdog story over here. Pero, I mean, so far, Zeta Division, mas malaki nga yung lamang nila. And from what I've said yesterday also, from the interview that Suggest answered na parang, one of the cracks in their team so far is under the IGL department. So parang, I was really hoping na, of course, week 4 na, sana naman ay naayos na nila yun. Pero parang hindi pa, kulang pa rin. Like, just to be fair for DFM then, they are having some close matches. They had some close rounds with Zeta Division. Pero it's just that it's so hard to close on the end of DFM.
Ano din tingin ko, stylistic problem din dito para sa DFM. Kasi alam natin yung style nila at yung main focus is to really funnel all the resources so Soldam can go online or whoever is gonna be playing on that jet, whether it be Suggest or, again, aforementioned player. Pero sa mga long format natin, like, of course, Pacific, right, where everybody has the allowance to VOD review and study all these habitual things that all our teams do. Yun yung siguro naging problema. Kasi si Soldam sobrang explosive, pero yung adjustment niya sa longer sets, and like I said, like the Pacific, just becomes a bit of a problem. And syempre Zeta, alam nila yung playstyle ng DFM, alam nila yung mga players. They played against this team many times, and iterations of every team that these previous players were, these players were on previously too.
Yeah, and also to add to that one, parang downloaded nila si Soldam. And so far DFM playing a 4 protect 1 strategy, which is supposedly we're hoping for every other player to pop off every now and then. For DFM, it's just too reliant for one person, and that's Soldam. And you can only carry too much weight, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Pero, coming into this, I feel like we thought, coming into this, we did think that it's okay. Your vote still counts. Every vote counts.
Whoa, man.
Whoa. But yeah, speaking of things that count, your raffle entries do count because we have the Grab Unli Buhat Challenge where you can win an all-expense paid trip to Seoul, Korea to watch the VCT Championships live. All you have to do is scan the QR code here in the bottom right corner of your screen and click Accept Challenge. Yahoo! Grab Unlimited gives you unlimited delivery every day from every single store. And on top of that, we also have Valorant Gun Buddies, Valorant Player Cards, Valorant Sprays, and kung swertehin ka, yung grand prize sa Seoul, Korea. By completing a single Grab food order under the Grab Unli Buhat Challenge, you can receive 1 raffle entry for VCT Pacific. And you can earn up to 10 raffle entries with just 5 Grab food orders. So, what are you waiting for? Just scan the QR code and click Accept Challenge before it's too late because malay mo, baka ikaw mismo ang madala ni Grab sa VCT Championships.
Ano ba yung tunog ng Valorant Spray? Psst. But before anything else, remember to share the stream on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch to support VCT Pacific and your favorite teams. It's Valorant_PH on Twitch and Valorant Esports PH on Facebook and YouTube.
Special thanks to our sponsors Logitech, Red Bull, Polo by Ralph Lauren, Grab Unlimited, HP Victus, and Zowie for making VCT Pacific League possible. So big thank you to everybody.
That's right. Big thanks. Again, this show has so much going on for it. There's a lot of people that we're supporting, the teams, the players, of course, the community here. And speaking of that, I wanted to put out a bit of the community's thoughts here dito sa matchup natin for today. So, again, we have Global Esports versus Talon Esports. So, again, Talon Esports is a team na we saw so much potential. They have a very good place in our hearts. And undoubtedly, one of those teams now, one of the best produced here in the APAC region. Pero again, dito may Global Esports tayo na yung team na sinasabi has many great pieces to the puzzle but has not figured out that puzzle possibly. But looking at their performance dito sa VCT, alam namin 0-3 pa sila. Pero it looks like, they're managing to put teams even like DRX pushed to their limits.
Yeah, push to their limits nga yung ginawa nila. And just to highlight some players from Global Esports, really expecting again a lot for Munier on week number 3. He got a total of 54 kills laro nila on week number 3, and I'm hoping that he will be able to duplicate that kind of performance against Talon this time. Spoiler alert, sila yung pipiliin ko.
Ay, wow, may preview na. Buti na lang may spoiler alert, Bruce, diba? Kasi sobrang obvious na eh. Pero yun nga yung tanong. Si Monyet, again, just looking at this lineup, right? You remember everybody as a secondary fragger, a jet, or somebody for example, Monyet, right? Siya yung siguro wild card ng Indonesia. When we still paid attention to him, or when we were really inspecting that old Onyx roster, siya yung the system breaker for Onyx. Onyx used to be so incredibly bookish, kind of like DRX, pero may South APAC twist, kumbaga. But now, what is Monyet gonna play when we also have players like Ronsky, we have players like SK Rossi, Lightning Fast, and Texture, who's had similar types of play. So, sino ba yung step up sa spotlight para maging support for the team? And I think Aaron is still trying to figure that out too, right?
Aaron is the guy. Pero if we're just basing on numbers from all their performance, all these players, alam mo talaga mga duelist main though. Kasi their frags, they total up to more than 30, 40 every week. But they lost. Pero, they still get the frags done for the team.
That's true, but even Warbirds has said himself in interviews that, coming from Team Secret, we have to, it comes from Team Secret. I think we'd have to take credit for, take his words for credit because even he believes that this is actually one of his teams na, is not really highlighted as much, but definitely one that could, shock the rest of us. And I feel like that will be this game here today because, again, going back to Talon Esports, alam ko na, very close siya sa puso natin. But seeing with how they've been before and the expectations set on them, how do you think that they're going to fare here against a team like Global Esports?
Of course, they're pretty strong. If we are looking back at the start of the year, during lock-in, malayo yung naabutan nila. They were even in semifinals. And, since Raps over here, begging the question, Patty was not playing the time in lock-in, but now that he's playing together with the rest of Talon Esports, what is going on?
Sa totoo lang, Talon, you are breaking my heart. You have been breaking my heart for the last 3 weeks. Kasi kung isipin nyo, yung legacy ng Talon, yung legacy ng roster na to from X10, from Xerxia, from now Talon, who's been, again, one of the most consistent teams, one of the teams that had a super consistent system in terms of how they approach the game. Sobrang malas ng timing nila na dito pa sila nagfa-fall apart. Lalo na si Patifan yung na-reintroduce sa team.
Exactly.
And, like, if you think about Patifan, before he left and took, I think it was like a year break to pursue other things, he was one of the most explosive and most consistent and dangerous duelists that ever came out of this roster. And again, that's never been a problem for Sushi Boys, Foxy, Garnett's crews. Any iteration of that, like I said, X10 and Searcher, they always had a great system to play off whatever type of duelist they had. But now, parang may bagong problema with a returning face. So I'm not entirely sure how they're gonna deal with that. Hopefully they figure it out because they kind of have to soon.
Exactly, and I think, I guess the storyline moving forward is how is Talon going to figure out how to reintegrate Patifan, no?
Yeah, exactly. More ways to find out. I think this is week number 4, but they gotten themselves into like the works already. And I mean, of course, I'm spoiler alert again. I'm voting for Global Esports, pero I hate to say this, but Talon, just by numbers alone and just by performance, including the early this year, they are poised to win. Global Esports, they're in a bit of a scramble. Medyo magulo pa nga sila ngayon. So if ever Global Esports they manage to nab a win over at Talon, parang medyo it's gonna be a bottomless pit the way I see it.
Well, kasi kung kung recency bias lang, mas maganda yung results ng Talon, syempre. Again, you guys saw in Lock-in, they took PG down, they took a bunch of team down, but now going back into their own backyard in Pacific, I don't know what's happening. Maybe we're seeing something like, again, grabe walang Secret ngayon, pero pag-usapan pa din natin sila. Team Secret had something similar. I think it was like PH2 or PH1 last year. They came off super, super hot from Champions, when they took a map away from Gambit. And then when they start playing in PH again, they start dipping and people are wondering what's happening. But of course, Secret is back here. But we focus back on Aaron and Cruz, the hard callers, the IGLs of team. They are the ones that piece together everybody in this matchup.
Exactly, and I feel like just from these two teams, the IGLs, they are kind of synonymous with their teams. Global Esports, Aaron, and Cruz for Talon. And Aaron is a really good IGL. You can see that he makes a lot of good adjustments and is able to work on, dito sa roster nila. It must be one of the hardest, honestly, to work with because you have so many players from different regions. All of them, top duelists as well. And he's trying to integrate them all into this one team, and he's making it work. So super props to Aaron here. But Cruz has, he is again the IGL of the team, a really consistent top fragger for his team. But going up against someone like Aaron, I just feel like this matchup, parang battle of the IGLs din siya.
Exactly, and just to go with numbers along Cruz, week one and week 3, he wasn't as performing as well, different from week number 2. In total, on week number 2, he was like garnering more than 28, if I remember, 30 kills in total as his Omen on week number 2. But here back in week 1 and 3, it's a bit more of falling off. So parang just inconsistency basis, Aaron so far in their performance, although talo mostly yung laro nila, you still see like a lot of firepower from Aaron. So if just hindi IGL yung titingnan just by performance and left clicking alone, Aaron has got may upper hands Aaron eh.
Grabe yung responsibility kung IGL ka tapos super high-powered ka kasi yung attention mo na divide with paying attention to the macro and again, just trying to frag out. I mean, I should know, I've been there. But just a little bit of history, guys, my old competitive career, but whatever.
Jeez.
Right, so again, we go back to the inconsistencies and you talk about firepower and we talk about all the statistics. That's the biggest question for Talon. They never needed to rely on firepower. They always had so many contingencies to go around the game without actually taking all those unnecessary risks with yung mga contact play, yung mga all-star bailout. Like, that was super rare for them. And again, it's just a little worrying for me. I mean, parang sobrang obvious ng bias ko dito, pero I'm just really worried for Talon. I like Talon. I'm just saying.
Yeah, just to add with Talon, they're a team na parang I'd like seeing them play, but kasi they're not using the same agent composition. They brought out a Gecko, they brought out a Yoru, they even brought out Reyna.
The Reyna.
I don't mind the Reyna pick, honestly.
Well, you're a Reyna main. Well, just looking at yung mga, they defy the odds on what to choose, and yung bottom 3 agents that are rarely picked all throughout the season, ginagamit nila eh. So it's like, pag dito sila, boom! Talon Esports has something in their mind.
That's right. You gotta love them for that. And speaking of our biases, I think it's about time na
Talon!
Agad! Alright! Ayan, sa predictions natin, Raph, Talon, Bruce!
Secret.
Totoo.
Walang secret ngayon.
No, like sekreto.
Global
Esports. Spoiler alert.
All right.
Alert.
Talon Global, I'm gonna break this tie with... You're judging me? I know that look, pero I'm gonna go staying strong with Global Esports here because I just think that it's so nice to see how they're finally piecing together this puzzle, and I want to follow along that storyline. So as much as I love Talon too, I'm gonna have to go with Global on this one with Bruce.
Bahala kayo dyan. Bahala kayo dyan.
Ikaw na yung bagong Bisaya dito.
All right. Yes, I got the card. I got the card.
Paalam, Rap.
But anyway, we are going to be going to a short break. Pero wag kayo alis because we are going to be playing the open mic of DRX. We're gonna stretch first, actually, I think. You know, literally stretching because we are about to go in to a short break for before we go to our pregame for Tala and Global Esports.
Yun ba yung warm-up natin?
You know, esports players need to stretch too, right?
Speaking of, guys, don't do static stretches before, you know, going into something rigorous. It has to be dynamic stretches.
Like yung jumping?
Kasi, like, you know, I don't know how to explain.
What's a dynamic stretch?
Like things that are moving, basically. Because if you do, like, you know, static stretches, you kind of, I don't know the sciences.
Is this dynamic?
I mean, I do know the science, pero hindi ko ma-explain ng
Mali
maayos.
pala yung ginawa ko.
Wait, dynamic ba to?
Bicycle.
Dynamic ba to? Yes or no?
Hindi ko alam.
Well, anyway, we're going to be going into a short break. So before that, wag kayo alis because we're going to be playing the open mic video between DRX versus Talon so you can see what goes on behind the scenes here at VCT Pacific.
야, 에이밍 칼 꼽게. 형, 아트 구체 써줘. 그럼 처음에 템 보고 갈게. 이래. 야, 그냥 딥 격전을 쓰자. 세트 웅켰다. 에에에. 어디로 살까요, 너? 에이, 아트. 야, 삐가 아니야. 어디로 살까요, 너? 좋아. 삐가. 미카비라. 오, 구트로 클리어 멋있게지. 멋있게. 네, 설할게. 중간 설할게. 형, 장막 안 뜰게 그냥.
Spike
เอาไปวาง
planted.
ว่าตีหามันให้นะต้องชี้ก่อนดีกว่า벽편을 내 명원아 벽편아 도기빨 먼저 해라 도기빨 먼저 할게 장막 뜰게 이거 엘보 클리어 시켰다 이거 앞에 벽신 그냥 도기빨 하나 까놨어 내려 사깐 못 풀어 확인 못 풀어 질렀다 내려 사깐ไม่มีมีดไอ้หลังเสาตัวนึงครับกูไม่ได้โดนพวกท่านเฮ้ยเบล왼쪽 질렀어 왼쪽 사이트 들어야 반쪽 바라펴나 พึ่ 봐봐 바로 왼쪽이었어 나이스 오
distraction. Zero doubt. Zero opposition.
Red Bull gives you wings. Red Bull gives you wings. Red Bull gives you wings.
Welcome back to VCT Week 4, Day 12. Again, a VCT Pacific Filipino broadcast. I'm Rebixco, and together with me is Juicy Brucey and Raph. And again, we're going to be going into our first and only series today, again, which is Global Esports versus Talon Esports. So I think we have the panel is a bit spread out on this. Pero Raph, how are you thinking? I feel like you parang may love pressure ka today.
It's not pressure. I don't mind telling everybody they're wrong.
So what kind of score are we looking at here between these two teams?
Well, you guys did bring up a very good point na siguro yung fire part, yung explosive capacity ng global is going to be a serious problem, and syempre yung I guess like just the ability to heat up could be a real problem for Talon. Pero yun nga, sinabi ko kanina, kahit X10 or Xerxia yung lineup nila dati, they never really needed too much to deal with this type of playstyle kasi syempre sobrang I guess practiced against a super explosive and just super aggressive playstyle that APAC has in general. But again, sobrang weird ng timing ng Talon kasi experiment sila ng experiment in the last like 3 weeks or so.
Well, I mean, speaking of experiments, looking at global esports, nakikita natin na SK Rossi and Ronsky are not playing. So we have Texture, Lightning Fast, Aaron, Bazzi, and Monyet playing. So how do you think that's going to play out for them, you know, since 2 of their staples are not here again?
Can't say much about Lightning Fast. Parang ito yung first time makikita ko siya in action in like in this year so far. But before that, Arabi, we were thinking about like final score predictions. Are you thinking about 2-0 here, Raf? Yung ba naisip mo?
Actually, kinabahan ako eh. Kasi yung Talon. I know Talon is gonna win, but it could be a 2-1. Pero kung nag-a-adjust lang maayos yung Talon, edi sige, go lang. Pero if you guys want a history lesson on the Lightning Fast and the Ronsky, we could probably have it after the whole thing. Yeah.
But here's like the thing na gusto kong I really want to talk about, like on how close yung global esports so far they've done in the previous 3 weeks. Again, remember back when they had a match against DRX na parang we saw overtimes coming in from this team. Not actually an overtime, but like pretty close scores against DRX. So, you know, that's one of the things that I'm really looking forward to global esports na can they push again Talon Esports or replicate this? Kasi DRX on top yun eh. And their score line was pretty good against DRX 2-0 nga. Pero masyadong malapit. I want to see if they could do it again against Talon Esports.
I understand. And again...
I understand.
No, yes, this is a very, caring panel and a very, sharing of opinions type of panel.
Exactly.
Again, usually there is this thing that we call stylistic incompatibility, and DRX have been notoriously weak, or again, considerably weak for their standards against teams na sobrang freestyle, sobrang aggressive, and sobrang unorthodox. And yun naman yung ginawa ng global esports, and I feel like that's already been an identity for them. Pero tama naman din yung sinabi nyo na kahit wala pa silang panalo, they're on an upward trend. And it's always a good thing because, again, they've been developing the Lightning Fast SK Rossi duo for the longest time. Inseparable yung dalawa na yan. So, yun medyo,
something in the works.
Something in the
global
something
esports.
in the works for how many years na eh. Yun lang. Pero, no, really. That duo has been inseparable since the beginning of the lifespan of this game.
Yeah.
And to separate them in a setting like this is once again unusual.
Where their numbers are pretty bad as well, like 0-3 pa sila. So, just to add, I remember week number 2, Astoray and I were talking about yung kryptonite of DRX, and if they won't be able to read you, it's gonna be a lot harder. Pero they adjust on the fly. Now, I'm thinking if Talon Esports, are they adjusting on the fly here, or are they gonna stick with their guns?
Kasi eto Talon, they played against teams that are like Paper X, that are masters of just W-keying you down and being chaotic, and they've consistently dealt with Paper X and have had, I guess like a 2-2 score with them. They're pretty even, right, in just the long-term matchup. So, kung ganyan naman yung playstyle ng global esports, then obviously Talon has a bit of an advantage over that. And just another thing to add, kasi nag-usap tayo about ni Ronsky. Ronsky, formerly Order, formerly Bonkers with superstars like RDW.
Bonkers.
Yeah, Team Bonkers. I love that team. That team was so fun. And he's also part of that super nuclear type of playstyle, Revy. But I feel like that's all I can say, really.
Well, thank you for the history lesson, Raf. I think it's time for Ling and Ray to take it away.
Magandang late afternoon sa inyong lahat. At nandito na nga kayo syempre sa VALORANT Pacific League Tagalog Broadcast. Ako nga pala si Riri, kasama ko si Link2X at kami ang maghahatid sa inyo ng sad girl casting na joke. Ngayon, di ba? Alam ko, ibang teams yung magkalaban pero sorry, naka-phase clan ako ngayon kasi alam mo na. Kung sino ba?
Sino ba totoong bias nito ng caster na kasama ko ngayon? Ray, isang reveal nga. Sinong niroot for natin? Sino?
Talon!
Yun!
Wait lang guys, syempre hindi lang yan kasi bias natin nandito.
Ano yan? Kala ko meron tayo isipin kanina eh. Ano yan? Jojowain, totropahin?
Jojowain.
Oh! Hindi lang pati yung mga teams ang binabias namin dito, pati din ang mga players.
Syempre, ultimate bias ko since 2021 guys, 2 years and counting. Foxy, ikaw lang sapat na.
Huwag ka magalala, mamaya sa interview. Now is your time to shine.
Oh,
diba?
kailangan nila galingan. Kung di nila ginalingan, Ling, magdadabog ako.
Magsasad girl mamaya.
Tusuntukin ko yung pader kung natalo sila.
Huwag dito sa studio.
Ay,
Doon lang sa labas. Doon lang sa labas.
Alam mo yun, ganun sa wall.
Ay, sinuntok ang pader. Sinuntok ng pader. Ganon yung rebuttal.
Pero anyway, kapag doon na tayo sa seryosong side, alam naman natin na itong dalawang teams na to, sabi nga din ng panel, wala pa silang panalo. And yun yung nakakalungkot na part kasi yung talo ni-expect natin. Nasa top 3 yung finish, ang ganda na sana ng performance nila, pero kasi parang so far, naninibago sila. Ibang-iba yung style nila nung nasa lock-in compared as of now. And as for Global Esports, it looks promising to them. The fact na nakapag-overtime sila with the DRX, diba?
Which is maganda din talaga naman na may kita natin their losses because for sure naman, that is their learning point on kung paano ba talaga at kung ano yung babaguhin nila sa mga team na ito. Alam talaga natin dito, ang Talon Esports has definitely struggled playing for Patty fans sa larong to, which is like quite unfortunate, but I do hope sa mapang splits at sa huling pagkakataon nila, posible na maglalaro dito sa Pacific ay makakabawi or makakuha man ng mga laro.
Sana ngayon, Ling, may kita na natin dito sa split yung pagbabawi ng Global Esports. Mahal ko yung Talon, don't get me wrong. Pero syempre, you have a good IGL here in Global Esports. We have Arian. Alam niyo ba guys, fun fact dyan, nagmamasteral yan.
Oh.
Ganon katalino. Si Arian din. But then, si Patipan magkikeo. Parang lahat na lang ginagampanan ni Patipan. Last time we've seen him, he was on Sage. Sometimes he's on that Omen. Sobrang flex, man. Labanan pala to ng mga flexes.
Oh, laman ng mga flex and yun ang pinapakita talaga nila yung kanilang makakaya, nagpapakitang gilas sa larong to dito sa Pacific Gate. And kung tutusin, Patifan all-arounder na siya dito, lahat sinubukan niya, and with that level of experience, for sure naman may maambag siya sa larong to.
Ay, pero there's just the trade-off. Lahat may kita ni Monyet, ginamitan ng classic sa mukha. Si Patipan together with Garnet, he gets a 4K! Oh, and an ace for Monyet! Grabe, first round pa lang, mainit na kagad ang Global Esports. Him on that Astra talaga, sobrang satisfying panoorin. Dati siyang duelist, pero ngayon, on that Astra, parang dinaan lang sa tutok.
No, kakaiba talaga to. Alam mo, sa last game nila, si Monyet with the judge. Isipin mo, ganyan ang kagad na pinapakita with classics alone. Pistol ang labanan. Abangan ko yun mamaya na may shotgun siya may papakita.
Ay, Monyet 5-0. Too easy for Monyet talaga. And ito na yung problem na naman ng Talon. Pag sinira mo yung momentum nila on the very first round, talagang maninibago ka sa kanilang performance. But then, sabi ko nga, Global Esports, the fact that nagano talaga sila,
nag-persevere.
Nag-persevere. At pinili rather tong split. Alam mo na kung anong surprise nila against Talon.
For sure naman. And we all know, we already gotten a whiff of preview kung anong kain nilang gagawin. But for this time around, ibang pacing muna tayong lalaroin dito ng Global Esports. Sila ngayon muna ang mag-aabang. Alam talaga natin, napakadelikado itong paglalaro ni Monyet on towards a close male position. But the rotations are still gonna be on point para sa depensa dito ng Global Esports. Dahan-dahan muna tayo. Abang-abang din itong Talon Esports. Nag-aantay ng oras, ng opportunity para makapagpasok or makapagpitas man lang dito kay Lightning Fast.
Lightning Fast. Diba may killa din ako ganyan? Super MJ Fast. And now he was able to get 2 kills kagad. Kapag pala may Fast sa pangalan, pwede ka pala makakuha ng kills as much as possible. And now, may Crossfire na nga rin kagad together with Bazzy Rinks. Kung may Razzie Binks, merong Bazzy Rinks. At right now, ang flawless ng execution na naman ng Global Esports. Dito talaga, may kita natin pagdating sa split, very heavily defended pa rin siya. Despite na may mga changes, parang wala namang nagbago sa mismong practicality sa map na to.
Wala talaga mong bago. Isipin mo, wala kasi mga pieces ginagamit nila dyan eh. With that flawless play delivered by Omen, by HP, my gosh, you could expect, of course naman, a performance coming out from these individual players. And of course, backups coming in as well. Dito kay Bazzi, ganda ng mga respondent nila dito from Global Esports.
Sabi nila, nice one!
Nice one daw. Nice baby, mamaya.
Wala, mamaya. Maghintay lang sila, guys. This is it. Pero skydiff.
Okay.
Ayoko sabihin pero parang gano'n na nga. But then, there's the start from Garnet. Wala ngayon. Dito nga si Sushi Boys, rather, nandito yung mga hardcore na nanggaling pa sa Sersha and now they're here in Talon. Pero at paano ba nga nila mamamaximize si Garnets? Nakita nga natin yung Lucky ng ganda ng performance niya as that particular duelist. Pero yung adjustment ng Talon, sobrang tagal na nalang nag-a-adjust ever since yung pagkapasok ni Patifan. Hindi na siya maganda. If they lose this pa against Global Esports, this might be crucial sa standing nets. Baka mamaalam na sila kagad papuntang playoffs.
Exactly. And now they have to basically give it their all. Talon Esports mukhang nagkokonting pag-aalanganin tayo dito sa pag-push papuntang A-main. Dalawa kaagad ang naubos dito. Coming out from the aggressive pushes. Ang bias natin dito, not the Sky from Talon, but of course naman si Bazzi as well. Here to perform and here to put out a few numbers on the board.
Uy, good call to. Kaso hindi nakita ng boom bot, guys. Sa iba nakita, pero buti na lang may flash. At wala na nagawa si Bazzi. Wala na siyang no choice. Irene na lang all by himself. But then, nag-knife out pa siya. And there's just Foxy punishing him through. Usasan man lang siya ng galing. 2-1. Good lang naman to para sa Global Esports. Onting pitas-pitas lang. Pero finally, nakakuha na ng sense of relaxation itong Talon. Alam na nila saan sila mag-revolve around. Pero dito kasi sa speed, sa sobrang late ng mapa, alam mo na kagad ko ng next step. Kung wala ka narinig na paramdam here in A, alam mo nang either nasa mid or either nasa sewer sila. Sobrang obvious yung mga movements. Pero anyway, pagbabalik na nga nila. Uy, si ano nga pala? Cruz nga pala.
Okay. Hi, Cruz Ling nga pala. Intro muna tayo dyan. Katal simula pa yung mga laro. Getting to know face, the casters, the players, and the gameplay din. Siyempre, lahat tulad na sinabi mo kanina, maliit na mapa itong split. And of course, you being the right timing and the right place as much as possible could win a lot of objectives para sa larong to. Lalo na tulad ng ginagawa ngayon ng Talon Esports with their mid-control.
Ayo, yan ang naman talagang kailangan mong gawin sa split eh. Mid-control ka, makakapitas ka ng isa, tsaka kayo mag-decide saan kayong site. Pero naghahanap na nga kagad ngayon si Foxy ng kanyang magandang angulo. Kung meron man siya mapapunish. At ang nakakapagtaka, di ba? Usually you will see Skies na hindi naman sila talaga dapat yung nagpa-flank, kundi yung usual sa Talon na they have that double controller. Pero will it actually help them? Kasi etong double controller nila to, minsan nalalason sila. And hopefully nga mas maganda kung may killjoy knowing na si Sushi Boys. But then, it is what it is. Makakapag-take naman sila ngayon. Wala silang nakuhang surprise. So, look at that. Si Irene, nakita sila kagad-agad na smoke na ginawa ng Global Esports against them. At that's just it. Na-finish na sila. Biruin mo, kung yung surprise ni Patipan walang nakita, that's just it sa kanila, na-punish lang sila ng ganun.
Oh, which is like very very crucial din para sa kanila. Kung iisipin mo, napakagastos na lang yun on their behalf talaga. Nagtapo ng utilities and of course, Global Esports got the better half para sa kanila dito for this time around. Ganda pag-responde, kita mo naman yung controller at yung initiator, dynamic duo on towards A site. Ang ganda ng hold and kung tutuusin, if they keep this up, Global Esports might actually have the first map because they are looking quite stellar in this game so far.
And as what I've said, very heavily defended-sided nga tong mapang to. So kahit anong gawin ng Talon, sobrang hirap nito. Kahit nga ang aggressive na nga eh. Pang-attacking na nga tong comp nila and yet they aren't able to do something out of it. Ngayon, si Texture nakapag-boost. Meron siyang onting napitas. That's gonna be Sushi Boys. Pero nga lang, kasama pa niya si Bazzi on those answers. And yet yung Talon, hindi nila kayang mapin down yung mga primary anchors ng bawat side. And kung hindi nila magagawa to, GG sila on the next rounds.
Naku, delikado yan. May konting pag-aalanganin talaga ng ginagawa ngayon ng Talon Esports. And medyo mahirap yan given that your duel is expected to be confident sa pag-e-entry. It's not enough talaga na aggressive sila, nandun din talaga ang confidence from the rest of the team sa mga objective na pinipilit nilang kukunin. Now, mid-control mo na naman dito ang labanan. Pistols nga pa lang kanilang dinadala, but tingnan natin kung paano ba nila maka-counter nito. Monye na naman dito with the Vents play at lighting fast with this Raptor play. Naku naman, hindi mo makuha na isa. Showstopper, Garnet sa wakas na ilabas na. But mukhang mapipitas mga Irene. B-side pa dito ang unang mabubukas sa larong to.
Alam mo, ang laking crucial na ginawa ni Patty Pan doon, ha? Wala nga na-detect na presence, eh. Buti na lang may showstopper si Garnet that he can throw in. Pero alam na nga niya kagad kung nasaan pa. And Garnet will be able to get that 4K plus the thrifty round goes into the hands ng Talon Esports. Sabi ko nga, yung knife ni Pat, parang tinatapon lang niya kung saan-saan. Kung walang showstopper si Garnet doon, nabawasan na sila at baka nakuha pa kagad ng Global Esports yung win na yan. Pero yun nga, di ba? Kumuntika na siya eh. At napa-back out na lang kagad si Lightning Fast. Sabi ko nga, kung may Super MJ Fast, may Lightning Fast.
Grabe, kakaiba talaga tong Talon ngayong gabi. And of course naman dito, Global Esports, napaisip sila doon. They did not expect that. Isipin nung natalo pa kayo sa Thrifty. Nagtipid na nga at mukhang nakalamang pa. Delikado to ngayon for Global Esports. Kahit sabihin mong they have secured enough momentum early on in this game.
Oh my! Don't get too excited. You gotta respect yung mga hawak-hawak nilang sheriff. Kung kanina 350 and a dream sa Talon Esports, it's just the same for Global Esports. Biruin mo, wala man lang silang tinapon na flash, wala man lang anything. They went in for those dry picks. At ngayon pa, na boga-boga pa si Sushi Boy. So what is happening right now? For Talon, hindi nila minamaximize yung kanilang mga utilities na dapat kailangan mo. Kailangan mo nga, sabi ko nga, respetuhin pa rin yung mga thrifty rounds. And right now, Cruz is all by himself. Kaya ba na maklatch to si Mr. IGL? O kalahat na nga, tinatapon sa kanya ngayon. They will be able to get that after that flash coming in from Bazzi.
Nako, kung kaya daw ngayon ng Talon yung ginawa nila kanina from that thrifty round, kaya din naman ng Global Esports. Kung aim lang ang labanan, kaya talaga nila magpapakita. Sipin mo, hold on ng angle, kuha ng isa, at kung gusto pa nga, ang pick dito ni Patty Pan, napakasayang doon nang galing sa Talon. Naku naman, Global Esports, mukhang nag-iinit yung dalawang team ngayon dito sa split. Di pa nagpapatalo ng basta-basta.
Sobrang dugo na to sa Talon. Kaya kailangan na nila kagad mag-timeout. Ayaw na dapat nilang dumami pa yung rounds na naipapanalo ng Global Esports. Biruin mo naman yung nangyari on that round earlier. No flashes at all. Alam mo namang pipikan ka na mismo sa B-main, right? It's so obvious kasi mga naka-eco to eh. Syempre wala namang mawawala sa kanila if they play aggressive sa B-main and yet hindi nangyari yun. Usually kasi sa mga maliliit na maps, di ba? Yung mga thrifty yan, mas malaking probability rather yung pagpanalo ng mga thrifty rounds. And yet, gato na ngayon nangyari. Napakawalan ng Talon na dapat equal na yung scoreline nila.
Nasa'yo na at pinakawalan mo pa.
Oh.
Kakaibang hugot ng ginagawa natin dito ngayon coming up from both teams. And syempre man, konting tabag muna sa coach nila. Alam na alam talaga nila na tama talaga sinabi ito ni Riri. Kung may utility ka, kung aggressive ka, ba't hindi nyo gagamitin together, you know? As a team, kailangan nyo gagamitin objective na yan at tingnan mo kung ano nangyari sa kanila. You're not playing for as a single unit, and dito talaga nadadali yung mga teams na ito ngayong gabi.
At ito pa, ito lang series natin ngayon, yet may uuwing luhaan at may panalo na. Ang tagal na nating hinahanap yung certainty na mananalo yung isa sa kanila. Pero mukhang dito sa split, ang taas pa rin ng chance for Global Esports. Pero syempre, it's too early to say that. Dalawa pa lang naman yung advantage nila against Talon. But Talon, they already have that Viper's ultimate together with that Cosmic Divide. They really need to maximize it out. Kasi kapag hindi, matatalo na naman sila ngayon for Patty Pan, 2 kills na lang or 2 na lang na orb before he can get that null command. Ang gaganda ng mga AoE ng ultimates ng Talon Esports, and yet hindi man lang nila makuha against the Global Esports. Ayan na, finally gumamit na sila ng utility, diba? Pinul na nga kagad, kinol pa nila, nakapasok na nga lang si Garnet sa mismong side. Pero sana di siya iwan ng mga teammates niya. Wala nga lang si Silip sa side ng Global Esports, but always check your corner. And now, crossfire pa sa Valorant! Nakakala natin pupunta na sa Talon and yet they weren't able to do that. Sushi Boys already has that. And now, may mga gamitan ba na showstopper? Yes, si Sushi Boys, mawawala kagad yung ultimate niya. And it's all up to Kraus to make that clutch with his Spectre. He gets the second, he tries to get the third, pero walang nangyari. And just because of those little mistakes, like checking the angles, nawala na naman sa Talon as of now.
Naku, lightning struck really fast dun sa site yun. Napakasayang dun ang kuha ng Talon. Although napakagandang utility usage na pinakita dun ng Global Esports. Kahit sabihin mo, binuhos ngayon ng Talon Esports, medyo nadali talaga sila dun sa mga positioning alone na nakapaglason sila behind that cosmic divide from that Astra. And if you look at the replay right here, ganda naman talaga pagkagawa dito ng flashman lang sana. But unfortunate though, ako naman, ganda ng answer back din with the showstopper and with the response as well from the rest of the Global Esports team. Just like putting it out there, naku naman, hindi sila magpapahuli. Kuha ang site pero kayang-kaya nila babawiin.
Gets ko naman yung gustong gawin ng Talon like cut off at least someone from the actual site. Pero dahil lang doon, biruin mo, nakakuha si Lightning Fast ng kill tapos may kasama ng showstopper. Na-remove lahat ng plano nila. Ganda na ng hati ng Cosmic Divide. Tapos yung Viper's ultimate. Pero it seems like it's not working. As of now, Talon keeps on finding yung flexibility pero walang nangyari. But then those hero-wise, baka worth it dahil si Garnet nga ang nangunguna ngayon. Sige guys, sabi natin, may pera pa rin naman tayo. Wala na si Irene ngayon. Makuha tayo ng mga valuable information. But then, masyadong excited ang Global Esports. Si Lightning Fast ngayon ay wala na. Pero wait lang, meron pang isang taong nasa mail and his name is Monyet.
Monyet, walang judge mo nang kinakailangan niya dito para makakuha man lang at makapagpitas. Nako, Seekers mga para makapromise sa kanyang posisyon. Dalawa pa nga makuha bago mamamatay. But lamang naman tayo dito makuha muna tayo ng informasyon na kung saan makakuha tayo man lang ng kuha dito kay Cruz. Now, Garnet S, makapag-revive pa man dito sa kakampinan ng si Pat. 1v3 muna dito ang labanan, Ray, at mukhang may dalawang flashes pa magagamit si Bazzi with this solo retake. But wag muna tayo magpapahuli. Patipal playing for after position. Mukhang may madadali pa nga siya dito. As long as the game, the crossfires happening! Hindi mag-check ng angle at mukhang isang muntikan pa doon ng Talon Esports kung hindi sila nag-think as few steps ahead from this game.
Sobrang shaky nang nangyari sa kanila. Imagine, they didn't think na may isa pa dapat na manggagaling sa flank nila. And dahil dyan, nakakuha pa ng frag. Si Monyet kagad, dalawa pa. Tapos kung di pa naka-null command, ano pang mangyayari, di ba? Pero anyway, still, a round win is big. Slowly but surely, Talon is taking this head-on against Global Esports. Pero pag hinayaan nila tong Global Esports, if they let that mid-control work into the hands of mga kalaban nila, si Talon, medyo magiging masakit talaga to.
Masakit talaga. Isipin mo naman talaga mga players. So, ang laki ng mga impact na nabibigay nila, especially when they play for each other. They're not letting anyone just push out of the blue. Walang trade, walang ano man naman mangyayari. And napakadelikado yan for Global Esports. They have to think on the spot, ano ba talaga yung mga plays na pwede natin gagawin na hindi ini-expect ng mga kalaban natin. A quick on aggressive play could be huge for them, but unfortunately, map control is completely given away. And mid, bukas na naman dito para sa Talon na naman.
Nabuksan, pero hinarangan lang din ng isang katulad ni Irene. Kita naman natin walang sobrang balance ng parehas na lineup, but it's just gonna work who's better. And yet, Patipan, masyado niyang in-excite yung kill. Alam naman niyang dalawa. And just because of those kills na ginagawa ng Global Esports, malalaman na nga din nila kagad yung information na nasaan ang mga Talon members. Galing sa mid, ayan na nga kagad si Mr. Cruz. Marinig niya yung satchel para pumunta sa kanya. He was able to get that together with Sushi Boys. And habang dinidistract ni Foxes yung mga pupunta sa kanila, hindi man lang nila matatakal pa rin si Bazzi. Only 2 remaining. Coming in from Talon, and yet he's gonna die out from there. At kikapitan na lang kagad ang kasagutan. Pero nga lang, he gotta check on that plan. Nasa likod na nga niya din niya kagad. Di niya mapapansin natin na nasa likod na niya. Pero buti na lang nag-skip siya ng beat. And he tries to get that plant work. Pero nga lang may Molly na kasama yung oras. Kailangan na niyang pilitin to or else that's gonna be it for him. Pupuntahan na lang siya. May kita na siya kagad ngayon as Erin spawns him through the smoke. 6-3. Talon once again. Yung mga mistakes nila, sobrang natatalo lang sila dahil sa minimal amount na yun.
Exactly. And if you add those things up, that is basically how you saw a big change sila on how the game went. And especially this performance din ni Bazzi, taking 4 out of the board before even dying out. Is even mo 2v4 sila with that B-split on towards the side. Hindi man lang sila nakapagpasok ng madalian doon. B-main heaven, wala silang naging mabuting objective na nagawa doon. And of course naman, you have to actually deal with utilities and the players manning on towards that position.
We are waiting for those specific kills. Always check your corners. Pero nga lang kasi mga naka-classic lang. Medyo pagbigyan natin. Understandable, guys. Wala talaga silang binili. Only that frenzy coming in from throws. He just tried to maximize out what he can have for this round up there. Anyway, they just tried to pull off with something that they want to, but they don't usually play split kasi. Kahit nga sa dati pa nating patches nung nandun pa yung bind, nandun pa yung split, yung mga old maps pa, hindi talaga nila nilalaro. Alam nilang nagtatalo sila. Last time ko pa atang nakita silang maglaro na to before this VPL was still against Paper X at tatalo din sila against them sa mapang to. So, alam mo na, hindi talaga to yung very comfortable map and that's why Global Esports is very actually smart na ito yung pinili nila. Pero yung last 2 maps, kung magkakaroon na tayo ng map 3, yun yung kailangan nating abangan kasi ang favorite ng Talon nga is yung kanilang icebox. But as of now, this first half natin, alam mo na Ling, na it's just gonna be favoring on those who are in the defending. At tignan natin, kung nag-give to ng Talon ng 4 rounds, okay na. 8-4 is okay in split kapag nasa attacking ka. Pero mahabol bandali mga gunfights kasi doon talaga sila usually natatalo eh.
Oh, but hopefully it's gonna be something that they could be working on sooner or later sa larong to. But konting kahabulan muna tayo dito coming out from the side ng Global Esports. Nagmamadali muna tayo mag-rotate. Tapon utility, trailblazers muna mangunguna para makapagkuha ba ng impormasyon para makapag-asim man lang papunta sa CT. Now, spike being planted on B. Post-plant muna tayo dito coming out from the side of Talon Esports. Of course, Pain Shells and the slow orb is gonna be a huge combo for them to fully disable playing in from backside. Now, Talon Esports, Cosmic Divide is gonna be fading itself out. Committed on towards the side. It's gonna be the side of Global Esports for this retake. Stars being deployed. There goes the guiding light. Wala pong mabipitas. They're gonna be snatching Lingon in towards the side. But Carnes locks it for 1. Global Esports coming in from every direction. Ganda ng Cosmic Divide. They're gonna be small stalling themselves on towards the map. At walang magagawa dito si Sushi Boys. Walang maririnig man lang dito na spike defuse. And that was isang really quick na retake coming out from Global Esports. Napakaganda.
They keep on pushing B. Yun lang, di ba? Kailan ba sila nag-A side? Isang beses lang. Nung natalo sila, wala na nangyari sa side ng Talon. And they keep on pushing B. Pero itong Global Esports, basang-basa na sila sa B side. Plus, ang usual mistakes talaga ng Talon before on this map are their post plants. Here, especially in split. At ngayon, yun pa rin yung mali nila. Pero we gotta consider nga kasi, ang hirap nga ng attacking side sa mapang to. Kapag nakapag-setup na kayo sa post plant, ang sikip pa rin eh. Mananalo pa rin yung mga nasa heaven ng B side. So alam mo na, but then Global Esports, they keep on getting those rounds working together for them. And if they start to hit up, alam mo na yung magiging sagot. And sabi nga nila, di ba, ang dami daw nilang surprise. Nag-tweet si Irene ata na watch out for us because we have something coming up. And actually, it's true. Na pinakita nila yung split, pinakita nila yung composition na meron sila. And it's actually working. Texture nga lang na nanggaling dati sa mismong Australian scene, nakita natin na sobrang galing niya. At ngayon, on that stage itself, siya na ngayon nangunguna, parang akala mo siya yung duelist eh.
Oh, siya naman talaga nagduduelist sa mga ibang mapa. But ang ganda talaga ng mga adjustments so far na ginagawa ng Global Esports sa kanilang mga plays and sa mga players na pinapagawa at pinaperform. Si Foxy! Ayun, isang nice baby daw, sabi ni Ray Ray. Hindi magpapapigil, hindi magpapahuli. At mukhang dun muna tayo magtatapos sa streak mo naman natin dito, kuya. Dahil Global Esports mukhang mabilis mag-responde on the scene.
Meron kasing revive. Di pala si Texter, si Rongski pala yung tinutukoy ko. Sorry, pasensya na kayo. But then, sabi ko nga, nag-whiff yung mga miyembro ng Talon sa mga gunfights pa lang. Wala silang magawa. And right now, medyo walang guard si Garnet together with Crows. Yung post-plant nga, wala na din silang utility at all. And that's just a clean retake from Global Esports. Sabi nila, meron tayong revive ni Texture after him getting that operator kill. At ngayon, Na-revive nga niya si Irene. 9-3. Pero next na tanong, will it be a 9-3 curse or not?
Naku naman, kapag ito ang katabi ko, syempre naman. May mga curses na mangyayari. Not just the 9-3. Of course, makakita talaga ako ng game 3 dahil itong katabi ko, kakaibang lagim na sinasagip.
Oo, talagang gabi ng lagim. Pero syempre, di-discuss muna ng ating panel kung anong nangyari sa first half.
Maraming salamat, Ling and Ray Ray. We're back at the panel here. Raf, Ray Ray said she was hoping for the 9-3 curse. Are you hoping for it too?
Nope.
Kung nandito si Rere, palagi lang naman, kahit mamaya, 6 yan na overtime. Hindi yan, 9-3 curse lang, mag 3 games pa tayo.
Well, to be fair, nag-overtime yung Global Esports over at Split. So,
That's true.
malaki yung possibility. But if you
Bringing
are
it
going
back.
for like, bringing it back, super... Split, I don't know in this league so far, super defender-sided. And then for, as a team Global Esports, they're, defender-sided. So let's see kung ano mangyayari when they're over attackers. But so far, Global Esports, they've done it against DRX. Na they push them to the limit. So parang walang reason they won't be able to close this one.
True, pero historically speaking, the Thai teams have never been good on Split. They've never broken through above 55%. They've been super unreliable. And honestly, just being Monyet, again, na-mention natin sa panel na siya dapat yung fire starter para sa Global Esports. And again, he's delivering so much. It's been contagious. Texture's been having a grand old time, having as many reses as possible. And kahit naman systematic yung takes ng Talon sa map control, it's just so hard to get into those gunfights confidently kasi yun nga, malakas yung bailout ng Global Esports and their initial contact has just been really, really good.
Exactly, and I think we're also seeing Talon Esports is, dry peaking here a bit. And again, speaking of lockdown and things being teared apart, mid is totally locked down by Global Esports, but we'll just have to see if they can keep it locked down in the second half. So we'll just have to find out from Ling and Ray. Woohoo!
Parang hopeful pa yung mga panel na walang curse no?
Hopeful.
Ako sa kanila, matuwa na lang talaga sila. Kasi ako, natutuwa ako sa game ng Talon together with Global Esports. Alam mo kung bakit?
Bakit?
Kasi idol natin si Sushi Boys.
Oo naman!
Tropa namin
lahat yan! Kakaibang kamantag. Di mo ngayon, naglabas ng controller, mate. I-control na daw niya yung laro. Siya na daw. Okay, Talon Esports tabi. Ganun na.
Anak, ako na. Ganun. Anyway, Global Esports, sabi ko nga, they found yung weakest point ng Talon, which is this map particularly. So, alam naman na natin na it's a big advantage that they have. But then as for Talon, they still really can't mend yung mga malalaking mistakes nila altogether. At nakita nyo kung bakit sila 90 post plant is not working. Yung mga takes nila, bawas na sila kapag nakapunta na sila sa site mismo. And sobrang predictable ng kanilang setup. Sobrang obvious. Pero ngayon, baka may changes na. But on this pistol round, knowing na Global Esports nasa momentum, this might be hard sa Talon.
And now the tables have turned, sila lang ngayon mismo talaga mag-aabang kung anong mga binabalak sa kanila ngayon ng Global Esports. And speaking of that, they actually had the initial information coming out from the Guiding Light Flash na nagagaling dito from the sky. Gandang rotation at ang ganda ng pagbawi ng mga mapa dito for coming out from Lighting Fast. But mamatay pa nga siya sa sarili niyang paintals. Unfortunate, but of course naman, Global Esports has decided to pull on the quick on rotation. Makakita pa nga tayo dito ng stage na padaloy-daloy sa mapa. Male position is gonna be coming on its way. Si Texture dito ay nag-aabang from the squad here of Global Esports coming out for the push. Gliding light in for 1 at 1. Dito pa nga natin makikita 14 seconds left on the clock where we see Talon putting a halt here from the pushes here coming out from Global. But mukhang si Patipan, mukhang magre-responde muna tayo dito. Ang ganda ng rotation, but it's all in good hands with their B-side hold.
Alam ka nga. Baka may sinasabi si Wendell ngayon. Alam mo kung anong sinabi ni Wendell? Natutuwa siya na nakakahabol yung ating Talon. Pero ito nga, sabi ko, if you make this into an 8-4, sobrang mas malaking chance. Pero itong 19, medyo pa to shaky pa to, pero looks like they are back on track. They know kung anong pwedeng mangyari sa kanila on the first half, but they are already prepared on the second half itself. Sabi nga natin dito sa Split, parang wala naman changes talaga. Ikaw ba, in your opinion, parang may nagkaroon ba talaga ng malaking changes sa Split or wala at all?
Actually, sa totoo lang, nobody has basically adjusted so far, but just hindi ko talaga nakikita, especially in this level of play. Kahit anong map changes na pinipilit gagawin, everyone played it in the similarest way possible. They understand what works, and of course naman, for us to even see here in the Pacific League, wala ka talagang ibang matutunan unless like the pro players do it themselves. Just, yeah, to answer your question, wala.
Wala,
Wala
diba? Wala,
talaga.
parang siya lang, no? Sinabihan mo ng, sana naman nagbago ka na, pero wala pa rin pinagbago.
Oh, pero siya,
galit na galit!
Ito muna, to add to that, siya ngayon yung may bago.
Ay, grabe. Alam ko yan. Alam mo yan? Alam mo yan.
Hindi alam ng viewers.
Hindi alam ng viewers. Sasabihin namin sa inyo next time. Pero si Sushi Boy, salita to, tropahin talaga yan. Binumay mo sa able to get a 3 kill. Lagay mo na kaya yung highlights mo pang TikTok din yan. Kaso nga lang, hinarangan lang yung isa sa kanila. You spike ka lang nasa ilalim. Pero always check your corners. Kamuntikan pa nga kagat, but he gets the ace. No, but then denied by Bazzy Rinks. Only Bazzy, the guy remaining na lang sa side ng Global Esports. Alam na nga nila yung call para dyan. Nahanap na nga lang din siya. Just si Foxy was able to take him down.
Itong sinasabi ko sa Sushi Boys, tabi nyo, the rest of the team, hayaan nyo na lang siya mag-hold ng site at hindi talaga makakapasok dito ang Global Esports. Napakagandang one at napakagandang hold nila from heaven. Kahit sabihin mong Spectre, matik headshot, and kahit sa malayuan, Ray, anong disadvantage, anong kahinaan ng gun na to? Wala. Depende lang talaga sa players. And kung Sushi Boy yan, syempre hindi magbimintis.
Ano kaya iniinom ni Sushi Boy? Alam mo ano?
Ano?
Feel ko yung Red Bull yung iniinom niya dyan eh.
Oh, kaya malakas. Kaya nagsusumis.
Red Bull gives you wings. But anyway, 9-5 na nga. Mukhang nagkakatotoo yung ating curse as of now. And this is really good from Talon. But then let's not forget, full buy round na nga sa Global Esports. They get this. And then may double digits scoreline na sila. Pero si Kuya Mokros, nakatingin lang ngayon, meron bang magpipick? Oh, there's a perfect timing. And he sees the gun! He tries to get the kill. Pero nga lang, he calls for that full. Ang ganda kagad ang ginawa ng setup. He tries to get some minimal information and yet he was able to get it. Kaso nga lang, sabi ng Global Esports, hindi natin ikakamit to. Alam na natin kung nasaan sila ngayon din. And right now, hahanapin nila yung takeover nila sa mid part.
At mukhang napaatas pa nga dito muna ang side ng Talon. Iniilagan nila muna dito ang guiding light, yung mga utilities, lalo na yung Trailblazer na kung makakagat, napakadelikado talaga. Lalo kung wala kang anti-rabies si Torere, magmamadali ka talaga sa pag-responde with just a huge emergency that has been called out here coming out from the side of Global Esports. They are putting themselves in quite an awkward position, but for this time around, sila ngayon ang may konting kalamangan. Sila ngayon ang may better guts at sila ngayon ang mag-aabang. Now for Talon, nag-spray lang dito sa wall at makakuha pa nga dito si Texture.
Anong ginawa ng Talon to? Bakit niya pinilit? Pero right now, there's someone who wants to try it. And now Patipan gets the second kill. Will be able to get his Phantom ready. And now it's gonna be a 3v3. Low on HP si Texture together with Lighting. Pero pwede pa nga naman ngayon mag-healing galing. Sabi nga nila. And let's see if our members from Talon will be able to get this. Dahil nga si Garnet ngayon, he will punish them through that shot. He tries to get the 2 kill. At isa na lang kagad ngayon. Tatawagin yung mga teammates niya. Pero Bazzy was able to get the 2. Pero nga lang, he still gets the clutch against Talon. Pinalamang lang. Gusto pa manalo sa 3v1?
Nako, pinatikim lang at mas lalo talaga silang pamapatikim talaga sa Red Bull clutch na pinakita dito ni Bazzy. Isang napakagandang post plant at napakagandang hold ang side. Kitang-kita mo naman sana dito. Ang ganda sana ng idea dito ng side ng Global Esports or rather ng Talon. Napakasayang. Garnet was already popping off at sino man naman dito ang hindi magpapahuli sa action. It's Bazzy with that 4K. Ngiti mo na tayo dyan, Kuya.
Gapa.
Grabe, ito talagang gusto ko sa VCT. The player camps.
Yeah, alam mo kung bakit? Kasi nakikita mo gano'n sila ka-confident. Pero ito pa yung next na mistake doon ng Talon.
Ano yan?
Masyado na lang hindi nire-respect yung mga 1v3s. Alam mo, napapansin ko yun sa Pacific usually, or not just only yun sa VPL kundi sa mismong region, na yung mga 1v3s, talagang iniisa-isa nila na dapat hindi, right? Kita mo naman, flash player yun. Meron pa siyang flash na available. After he popped that out, natalikod talaga sila. Ayan, nakuha niya yung 2 kill. Tapos alam na nga niya yung information kung nasaan yung isa pa after getting that sa may heaven side. And that's just it. the magic worked once again sa side ng Global Esports at 3 na lang, they can claim their first map against Talon.
Oh, this is like bad news already for the side of Talon. Medyo delikado to para sa kanila. Not a great start, but hopefully makakabawi sila ng konti-konti man lang. And to even imagine that this is like the perfect time for them to do so, kita-kita man dito sa side ng Global Esports, not exactly pulling out that quick on buys dito. Nagsistick lang sila with the frenzy sa single Phantom here nagagaling para kay Lightning Fast. At kitang-kita na naman natin kung paano sila magiging effective! Napakaganda nga tayo flash dito from Dexter. Lightning Fast with a quick on backup. Main chance muna tayo dito para sa close angles para maka-cancel out. But Seekers is gonna be coming all the way, making sure the site is gonna be completely clear. But konting kaasiman muna tayo. Lightning Fast, Kuya! Manong, stop ka muna please. Konting para muna dahil mukhang medyo mapapunish ka kung mag-overextend.
I love how they maximize itong flashes, tapos yung mga smokes pa and utilities ng Global Esports, sobrang connected eh. Hindi talaga kaya bawian ng Talon. Kahit lang try ni Patipan i-suppress, walang nangyari. Garnet right now is already finished and looking through the smoke. Lightning together with Monyet will be able to get it. Dalawa na lang kagad. They will be able to secure nga itong map na to and it looks promising for them. Considering na ito pa ay yung earlier ay full buy round ng Talon at wala silang choice ngayon. They really need to buy their sheriffs. If it's not gonna work, match point na kagad sa Global Esports. Parang speedrun lang nila. Parang may gusto pa atang sabihin tong Global Esports.
May gusto nilang sabihin, easy lang daw para sa kanila. A walk in the park. Satchel in, napakadaling papasukin. And yun ang sinabi kanina dito ni Lightning Fast. Isang mabilisan na nakakuha kagad ng heaven position. And this is where we see Talon Esports just slowly crumbling down on their defense. Kahit sabihin natin may mga Phantom at Vandal sila.
Parang ayoko na pala mag-predict. Ano malas eh. Example number 1, Talon. Na talagang matatalon ka talaga. Naging ano talaga ngayon, maalat for the side of Talon. But we already know kanino ba yung advantage itong map pick na to. Kasi itong map pick na to ay Global Esports. So, pero si Foxy, okay, masyado kang na-excite sa kill mo at it's not gonna work. At ito pa, yung mga solo plays ng Talon, kung kailan crucial na yung map, they are still making that kind of play. Sobrang questionable talaga. But okay, Sushi Boys, he will be popping off. Tignan natin kung meron ba siyang magiging mata-target. Pero wala. Kasi hindi nila pinush kagad yung aiming dahil alam nilang merong ultimate si Sushi Boys. Instead, they will be cutting off that flank or kaya may aabangan sila coming in from mid.
They're not even that too eager in putting out that A-side pushes already. Nakita na talaga natin dito na may Viper Spits na napakadelikado lalo na sa mga post-plant nila na hindi sila makakasakop until A-main. But even Majat, we could definitely see a positioning here coming out from Bazzi. Napakagandang smoke at ang flash ang mga tatapon niya dito but it does not connect at all with the Viper. Lightning Fast, holding in for help position at mukhang si Sushi Boys makakuha pa nga ng isa bago madadali dito ni Texture. But we have to see this 4v4, the last round possibly up until the match point dito para sa side ng Global Esports. But di muna tayo mag-i-imik. Ang retake muna, ating muna ang aabangan coming here for the side of Talon at mukhang maging successful pa nga sana dahil dito sa elbow push. But si Garnet S, nag-aabang. Same here for the side of Bazzi, napakagandang posisyon. But si Monyet na naman, hindi magpapahuli sa action. Down to 30 HP, reloading here out for the 3 bullets. But si Cruz, nandito for the backup. Napakagandang retake at mukhang napakalapit na doon. Sana sa side, do they even have enough time for this?
Yes!
1 second lang.
Pinakabalang tayo. Kala ko magkakamali tayo eh. Na parang okay pa mag-detonate pa yung mismong spike but it's not yet over for Talon. Looking at that, diba? Okay, na-cut off nga nila si Foxy. But then, yung ultimate talaga ni Sushi Boys yung nagbigay ng something. Akala kasi nila nasa loob lang siya ng ultimate pero hindi nila alam na nung nawala na kagad yung kanyang integrity pagdating dun sa smoke, nakita pa niya kung sining isang nasa A-main, which is naghihintay lang to cut off the flank, and that was Bazzi. After taking him down, sabi nila, ito yung usual nating problema. So right now, 3 na lang, obviously, nandun na sila lahat kagad sa mismong site. Good call for Talon to actually do that. And sabi ko nga sa'yo, very smart nga sila eh, on their defending. Alam naman natin si Sushi Boys is really a good player. Not just only as a controller, but also pagdating sa pagiging sentinel. Pero nga lang, nang-hurt siya. Sabay-sabay talaga lahat. Or there's just a trade-off coming in from Patty together with his teammate. and mapapaback off tuloy yung mid-control ng Global Esports.
Oh, you can't just pasok-pasok yan sa mid-control. Lalo na talaga may mga kuyas natin dito coming out from the side on Talon in every direction. Inaabangan ka lang magkakamali. Tulad talaga ni hindi na ako magsasalita. But you know, do you come to think of it? Do you even come to think of talaga dito from Global Esports? Dahan-dahan. They're walking on eggshells right now. Natatakot sila kung anong masasabi nila mali. O batang baka mag-iinit ang ulo dito sa side ng Talon Esports naman. Nag-aabang depensa, mukhang magiging agresibo ngayon.
Kuya mo, Crows, medyo hindi ako confident dyan. Pero right now, sabi na nga masyado niya minadali through the smoke. Wala man lang tinapahan yung showstopper. And it's all up to Patty Pan. There's just the attempt. Pero nga lang sabi ko yung mga ganong angulo, sobrang alanganin. At tignan mo, tinalunan tuloy siya kasi predicted alam nilang may nakaposisyon sa ganun eh. If matagal nakastall yung mismong B main, it's up to Patty through the wonders. Na-flashan nga siya ngayon. Tapos ngayon, mapapaslow orb pa siya. At he tries to get that one. Pero nga lang, kita mo naman, obviously, kung nasaan yung dalawang member ngayon ng Global Esports, they are at Garage. At match point na kagad sa mga tropa natin. Parehas na Pacific teams and Global Esports, we are already seeing yung improvement talaga nila kahit ngayon di naglaro nga si SK Rossi.
Oh, improvement on the fly at napakalaking bagay talaga na pagsuswitch up man lang ng mga players dito na maglalaro sa matchup na ito. And for the side of Talon Esports, napakaganda naman talaga ng mga effort nila sa pagkukuha ng mga push, sa pagkukuha ng map control. And it's just that Global Esports just putting out better moves in this game.
Wala talagang pinag-aralan ng Global Esports. How can we take down Talon? We start on our defending. We make that into 1-9-3 at matatanggalan talaga ng mga signs ang Talon para makahabol sa kanila. Pero kasi Talon talaga, dami na lang winnings na opportunities. Yung mga thrifties na nanalo si Global Esports against them, plus yung post-plant talaga nila yung naging problema nila ngayon. Pero there's this mid-control attempt. Will they be able to handle it? Considering na ito sa nga si Pat, meron na siya kagad null command. Kaso sobrang na-stretch out yung mga Talon. Mahirap talaga makipag-duel sa mga tutukan against Global Esports kasi natatalo din sila eh.
Natatalo sila at alam talaga dito ng timings ng Global Esports kung kailan mag-a-assim, kailan mag-pick at alam talaga nila baka pag-wear down ng mga patience dito coming out from the side of Talon with their defense. Now, dahan-dahan muna tayo dito. Alam na alam talaga nila may maiinip. Alam na alam din talaga nila na may mag-pick sooner or later. But Talon would not give that opportunity just yet. Alam nila that we have to play this as a team. Family pick, kung sasabihin natin dito, hindi muna tayo padalay-dalay at pa isa-isa magduduel. Now, si Garnet S is holding back every stunt right now to even not pull out those duels. But for now, he's gonna be taking out one. Satchel out para sa isa. Irene with a quick on backup. Makitang-kita mo naman dito from the side of Global Esports all around the world. Makikita natin dito si Irene na naman. 13 seconds. Natitira. Talon wearing out the time but mukhang it's not gonna be enough though. Global Esports turning to 6 real quick. Napakagandang attacking, napakagandang defending.
All I can say is Global Esports, we've seen this already. Yung preparation against DRX, it looked promising already. Actually, sa Twitter, pinag-uusapan yan na sobrang close na nung matchup ng DRX and Global Esports at mukhang ready na sila to actually take down other teams as well. At nakita nga natin yan on their performance right now, Link, against Talon. But then, sabi nga natin, yung split map kasi hindi naman talaga nilalaro yan gano'n ng Talon Esports. Kaya nakuha na lang nila after those map vetoes nga natin. But then yung next na question, will they continue to be good in their Icebox match? Kasi ngayon, sobrang binugbog nila yung Talon. Especially nung first half natin. It was a 9-3. There's still the possibilities for Talon to take on those retakes nung nasa second half na tayo, pero hindi nila magawa ng maayos na naman.
Oh, iba din talaga na nagagawa dito ng Global Esports sa kanilang kalaban. Talon Esports, unfortunately though, has not built the right amount of confidence for them to operate fully, for them to be fully online in this game. And so imagine talaga sa ginagawa dito ng Global Esports that have been continually shutting them down in every attempt there is. Kahit sabihin mo, this is not gonna be a map that they have been playing so far, but it's no excuse at all. In this level of competition, in this Pacific League, wala ka na bang ibang excuses na magagawa unless you're basically underprepared for your competition. That is gonna be Global Esports.
This is really sad to see from Talon, but at the same time, I'm so proud ng journey ng Global Esports. Hindi man lang makakapaglaro yung mga primary players nila. But you can definitely see the magic wonders ng iba na lang members at well. Ang ganda talaga ng pagiging stage ni Texture. Kuhang-kuha niya yung pagbabasa on those early pickoffs, and at the same time, maganda din yung calls ni Airy.
Napakaganda ng calls. Big brain plays nga pala na pinapakita dito. Especially coming out from both teams, pinakita talaga natin kung ano yung mga play, yung mga packet thrusts na yung malalabas pa nila dito sa larong to. But unfortunately, it all went down like you said a while ago with those duels that they have not exactly been winning, especially during those post plans. Sad to say, ganun talaga yung maging outcome for this team and for Talon Esports to actually put themselves out there. Kailangan talaga nilang bumawi dito para sa second map, and I'm pretty sure talaga ang panel has a lot more to say with this game.
Okay guys, so we're gonna go in a short break. When we come back, magkikita-kita nga tayo syempre sa Icebox. Ako nga pala si Riri, kasama ko si Ling, and see you guys sa malamig na map.
Alright, brother, you ready to show me why you're called Garnet?
Okay.
welcome back. We just finished game 1 of our series today, again, versus Global Esports versus Talon Esports. Juicy Brucey, Raph with me on the panel. Again, I'm Rubik's your panel host. And again, we were talking about this off stream just now, pero, you know, going off of the way that the map bans that just happened now, I think we weren't expecting too much from Talon here on Split. Like, I think Raph, you were talking about this is like one of Talon's worst maps, right?
Historically speaking, they've never been good on the Split. Like, kahit ano pa APAC 1, APAC 2 last year, or kahit, I think, ano, since X10 pa sila, hindi sila malakas sa Split. I don't know if it's a stylistic thing. Not entirely sure if it's been a roster thing. Pero si Bruce, parang sobrang excited niya dito. Or
Global Esports is good.
I mean, I never said they were bad. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, you know,
Try
going
to convert
into
you, man.
come to the global side. No.
Okay, sure. Nice try.
But I mean, you know, looking here at our maps over our team stats over here, Garnet and Bazzi, I think that these two actually did amazing here on Split. We really saw Garnet's, you know, on B site, excellent use of satchels, and Bazzi honestly just really getting those multi-kills for his team. And yeah, and you know, like Global Esports, their firepower is just too much, and they're getting so many multi-kills. It just seems na, I don't want to say this against Talon, but it's just like Global Esports just seems so, you know, fired up today.
I mean, siguro kung wala ka ng panalo for like 4 weeks, parang gusto mo nang talaga na parang, tol, parang oras na.
I think we need to.
Global Esports woke up today and chose to get some points. And, you know, parang it's an added factor kasi for Global Esports, you know, turn off the statistics, turn off like everything else, turn on like the, guys, parang gusto natin maglaro ng playoffs. It's more like turning on the will, na parang, we gotta get there. I mean, we gotta get some points somehow.
Get it together.
And, you know, and then you add like the emotional aspect na parang we don't want to disappoint the fans. And we don't want to look bad here on the league. So parang Global Esports this time, parang they really wanted to push. And just, you know, like my basis for this map talaga is week number 2, which in kalaro nila against DRX, although we would say na parang DRX is having a hard time to counter like very unusual plays, pero they were able to really push DRX back to the limit.
Or baka pumasok yung head coach sa practice room. Anong standing natin? Anong 0-4?
Sige,
guys, ayusin yan.
Baka yung may-ari.
Oo nga, may-ari talaga, no? Guys, bakit wala pa tayong panalo?
Sige po, sir. It's time.
It's time. Sige. But I am so glad that we're actually looking at Bazzi right now because, again, his fragging output was fantastic alongside, again, Texture and Moniet. I think Moniet has been so good. Pero if we look at the intangibles here, I really want to credit and highlight, again, lightning fast ability to take a lot of space and have full faith in his teammates to trade him out, as well as Aaron's calls on those Viper walls were really good. As we've mentioned, he is going to be the man of the hour for the head-to-head, and for good reason. There is a lot, and I mean a lot of talent on this Global Esports roster, and it's just a matter of honing them to be comfortable in the role. Ang lakas ng gravity ni Moniet talaga. No? When he is going to be the entry, all eyes are going to be on him. But since he played that third fragger today, he really had the luxury and the space to just go wild.
Exactly, and I mean this kind of just shows just how flexible and also how high impact every member of Global Esports is. But speaking of lightning fast here, he is actually being subbed out for game number 2. But interestingly enough, we have SK Rossi coming in. So again, the man of the hour for Global Esports. But again, I think Global Esports definitely does have, you know, they have all the ingredients complete for their, you know, the Global Esports soup that they have being made. But again, for the past 3 weeks, we have not seen SK Rossi being played here. So it's kind of interesting to see this new ingredient added. And how do you think this soup is going to taste?
Masarap? Should I say that? Should I say that? I mean, like, we're the basis of soup.
Is it a good soup or a bad soup?
I think it's gonna be a good soup. They put lightning fast here finally on week number 3, and the people na pinapahinga nila so far going in has delivered some result. Pero like, you know, in Icebox, if we're talking about the next map, this is the map chosen by like Talon Esports, and they managed to beat like Secret out of like one of their comfort maps. So Rap, is there anything na would equate Talon Esports with Icebox?
Kasi, well, I kind of want to put back the focus on Global on why they would put Rossi in. Again, he's the other half of lightning fast. He's these two have been inseparable, pero baka gusto ma-employ or at least ma-hyper-focus ng Global yung op lane nila. We didn't see too much of it, or at least not effectively. We saw Texture pick it up a few times on Split, but again, Split not necessarily the greatest of the operator maps. And now I guess we're not going to see that raise entry that Lightning Fast provided, pero we're gonna go back to something a little more familiar in the All-Star play, or at least the setup that they try to go for with Rossi.
Yeah, and I think, Icebox is definitely the map for that. And, Global Esports did pick defenders, so I think this is a good opening side for Global Esports here. Pero, thinking of the map bans and everything that went into this, you were mentioning kanina na, Talon, Split was obviously not their best map, pero they actually did a really good ban on Fracture. That really respect ban there. I think the side of Talon Esports, I think they have mastered. They practically own a Fracture here. So we're seeing a lot of respect bans. These two teams, I think, just off of that ban, I can say na Global Esports seem to really have come into this matchup a bit more prepared.
No, it's more like Global Esports, binaban talaga nila palagi yung Fracture eh. Only in week number 2, they were unable to ban Fracture kasi binanto ng DRX. Pero I think it's not more, baka lang or swerte lang, they don't like playing Fracture, and sakto rin na Talon Esports, Fracture Masters, kaya saktong na yung tempo na maban out nila.
Well,
I mean, that's what I would like to say it,
sinabi mo naman din eh.
Yeah, sinabi mo.
Okay lang.
What if bawiin ko, tapos di nyo na alam?
Sige, bawiin mo nga.
Pretend draft.
Bawi.
Wala tayong narinig.
Wala ka narinig.
Say it
Bakit
again.
walang sinabi si Bruce?
Sorry.
Ulitin mo nga.
Ayoko.
Pero, di ba tama naman, matchup-wise, sobrang lakas ng Talon on Fracture, and as Bruce mentioned, siguro kahit na comfort ban lang talaga ng Global, it's a great boon. It's a great blessing on the side of Global because they are, once again, hinging off on how they can adjust mid-fight and go for those mid-round calls that Aaron have been supplying the rest of the team. Pero with a team, rather with a map like Icebox now, you would think that Global would be a little more efficient with that kasi it's really one of the most freestyle maps. Hindi siya set play ng set play katulad ng Fracture. So again, despite that strength toward Global's side, we still have yet to see Talon's strength on this map. And as I mentioned, they really were not good on Split. They never have been. Icebox is a completely different story. So if they want to make this a competitive series, they better pick it up, guys.
Exactly. But I mean, we have seen Talon Esports. They have won on Icebox before, so I'm kind of curious to see how they're going to turn this series around. Pero before we go into, we've talked a bit about Talon already. How about we talk about this sub in, Lightning Fast being out and SK Rossi being in. How do you think that he is going to help the team since this is more of an off map, I think?
I mean, yung mga kalaban lang naman nila, I'm just hoping for like Talon Esports. If it's gonna be like op thing, like you said, op mentioned, pero like since they're starting out as defenders, the best way to counter that is like just get like a harbor in for Talon Esports, and they've already done this. Nagawa na nila to. So it's gonna be a difference, pero like the way Talon's gonna play that a bit of like more of a comfort map for them then. So parang maybe it won't make that much.
I think maiba yung dynamic naman dito sa Global kasi si Lightning Fast yung siya yung kumuha ng space for Moniet and Bazzi to do what they did in that previous map. Now SK Rossi kind of demands that role to, hey guys, I kind of need that op to be online. Pero we've seen SK Rossi play, I think it was KO a few times already. They've had a few experiments with this lineup and who's really going to be the hard front line. Pero tingin ko na prove na ni Moniet na siya dapat yung high priority to stay alive and just again hinge that mid-round off. Aaron is naturally going to be on that Viper. Once again, just the strengths that he had on splits got translate super well here. Pero another thing that they have to take into account is that Talon's pretty aggressive even on their defensive sets. Lalo na yung double controller. Sabi ni Bruce kanina, mag-harbor sila. And I think they will really do that. Harbor Viper, so oppressive. And it's just so, I guess, annoying to deal with no matter where and who you're playing against.
I know, and I'm really looking forward to the Harbor and Viper from Talon because, again, it really is annoying to deal with. Pero thinking about how, they kind of struggled, especially what we saw here on Split na Global Esports really had that mid-control, especially with like the utils they had, parang na-lockdown talaga. And Icebox, I feel na it kind of has that, you can employ that lockdown on a site, especially, again, with SK Rossi being here. So they've got that util and that firepower. So what do we think Talon has to do to adapt to what Global Esports has been doing to them?
Just stick to the meta. That's like good in Icebox. You just bring out your harbors, man. I mean, just secure your plants over at 2F and, you know, try to let Global Esports find a scramble to that solution. Kasi we haven't seen Global Esports play over at Icebox yet so far in the league. So, you know, maybe if this time they're going to be playing up into that kind of playstyle, then the defenders naman sila, maybe get like your, since of course Vipers is a staple, it could be like something to just counter out the harbor play over at 2F. I think that's just it. Maybe focus more on, for the side of Global Esports, focus on like agent compositions to counter kung ano yung nag-work for Talon. But for Talon, you know, just stick with the meta that's working so far in Icebox. That's how I see Game 2.
That's true. I mean, kung para sa Talon lang tayo, just play your game. I mean, I really don't understand the mix-up they did in the middle of the league kasi yun nga, sila yung pinaka-consistent na system. They really had a great way of approaching the game and a very patient way to play it. Just not really sure kung bakit ngayon lang sila nag-experiment ng mga bagong strats, nag-triple duelist. Hindi ko alam kung may may configuration na na-miss nila. I think maybe with Scary, but that's such a long time ago already. Again, they've had so much time to adjust. They have so much honesty to prove because once again, they have so many accolades to back up. But Global, they seem to be on a very, very hot start.
I mean, speaking of a hot start, since they're going to be going on to a cold map like Icebox, again, we are 1-0 here in our series. You don't like that pun, do you?
No.
Raph does not like that. Raph does not approve of the pun. Based on the data that we've seen from Global Esports, they've played Icebox during the chamber meta, and you know they even had the Reyna on the duelist here with their Opera on chamber. So it's kind of interesting to see what adjustments they have here. So again, we haven't seen them pull it out in a while, and again, Global Esports.
I don't think Chamber's gonna be.
Definitely not. I don't think so.
Is there a chance for like B defense?
To be fair, I don't think this is a bad map for Chamber, but yun nga, sa pro meta, actually the last map was pretty decent for Chamber, also for Split, but again, the meta for pro play is usually info burst, and Chamber just really does not provide that type of security for the flanks. He's very, very tempo heavy. Siguro sa Global, or rather between Talon and Global, Global's probably the one to employ him, but again, against double controller, it's a little difficult, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, going into hit, we do see there was no chamber, but we got the 2 jets on either side. And just like you said, we have the harbors here. So it looks like both teams had a similar strat in mind, but...
So was the difference.
Yeah, looking into this now, it's just, I guess, you know, who can better execute it.
Well, yung difference sabi ni Bruce Sova and Sky, diba? When you go for that Sky pick, you want to fight, you want to brawl, but you don't have reliable information. And this is exactly that. Something that could highlight the weakness of Global. They really want to go for those contact plays.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Well, that's it for the panel. Kayo, Baling and Ray Ray, anong masasabi nyo?
Marami kaming sasabihin dyan. Dahil nandito na nga muli tayo sa laban ng Global Esports together with Talon. My name is Ray and alongside with me is Ling. At sumasayaw-sayaw kasi kami dito eh. Pero alam mo kung anong mas maganda ngayon?
Ano?
Ay kung nanalo nga ang Global Esports 2-0. Pero syempre, ginano naman yung suot ko, di ba? Wala, Merry Christmas kasi malatalon tayo. But right now, syempre, yung sa mga tier region talaga, not just Talon but you know, in all sports, yung split talaga, hindi naman talaga nila nilalaro at all.
Exactly.
Ang mahilig sila sa parang mapa ng Pinoy. Icebox.
Icebox, para makaramdam naman tayo dito ng konting snow. Magpapalamig muna tayo at saktong chill mo na yung mga players dito.
Meron akong tanong.
Ano yun?
Anong Tagalog ng... Ano ba? Wait, hindi ko alam anong English neto. So, niebe. Ano yun? Gusto mong go? Anong bang ano
Is
nun?
it niebe?
Yung niebe, anong English nun? Nakalimutan.
That's
snowman yun, di ba?
No, that's a number. Niebe.
Hindi. Ayan,
snowflakes!
Oh, di ba? Kasi may Tagalog yung ano, yung...
number?
Gusto mong makita ng taong niebe. Alam mo ba yun?
Do you wanna build a snowman?
Do you wanna build a snowflake? Pero...
Taong niebe.
Taong niebe, oo. Ang galing, di ba? Oy, buti na lang may translator tayo dito. Pasensya na.
Maraming salamat sa iyo, Wendell. Wendell na Prodo, Wendell na panel, at Wendell with the predictions.
Meron pa, Wendell na caster.
Oh.
Wendell na, may bolang crystal.
Nostradamus. Nostra Wendell.
Na Nostra. Ay, shoutout nga pala sa mga nanonood sa atin ngayon. Kung nandyan kayo at kung mahal na mahal nyo kami, like and share nyo ng ating live stream. At huwag nyo kalakalimutan na mayroon tayong pa-promo kung sino pumunta ng Korea. With Grab.
At makikita yung mga oppa natin doon sa VCT Manonood ng Pacific League live in Korea and Seoul. At bago mo ng lahat, dito muna tayo sa Icebox. Magpapalamig at mag-aabang muna tayo dito sa side ng Global Esports dahil Talon na naman dito magsisimula with their attacking side. Post plans nga naman, but kitang-kita mo naman Global Esports already up with the quick on rotation na nakuha nila already here for B-main. Although magbimitis mo ng kuya natin dito, SK Rossi, napakasayo ng mga shots, but kita natin kung paano makakabawi muna dito ang Talon Esports na nagkakamali pa nga dito magpipik. Guiding Light para sa isa, napakagandang dome na ibibigay dito ng Harbor, but kitang-kita mo nun all around the world, Global Esports coming from every direction and of course, out for a great start dito sa Icebox nga naman.
Ay, yung lamig ng Talon, it's just the same as of now sa Icebox. Ang lamig talaga. Niebes means to, ayun, di ba? Yung inaakala mo yung, yung number 9.
Niebe?
Diba? Ayan, di ba? Merong yung, yung meron yan. Pero, anyway, good pistol round mula sa side ng Global Esports once again. And 9 is 9. 9 is no. Meron namang bagong ceiling ngayon na nalalaman sa ating broadcast. Kasi talagang hindi to Valorant. Alam niyo bang Tagalog challenge talaga to? Tuwing siya ang nagkakast. But anyway, ang ganda na nga ng start sa Global Esports. Nanalo sila sa pistol round. And ito na naman sila. Kapag tuloy-tuloy yung kanilang performance, nawawala yung kasiglahan ng Talon Esports.
Mawawalan talaga ng sigla. Lalo na kung malaman nila nalaman talaga nila dito na nandito ngayon muna ang Global Esports that is swarming on the way towards B-main. Napakagandang smoke na matatapon muna dito ng Talon at mukhang medyo dahan-dahan muna tayo. Cascade muna tayo sa tabi. Lesky Rossi nag-dashing para sa tatlo. Garnet S, napakagandang kasagutan. But si Basi, napakagandang trade. But si Irene to, aabang muna tayo sa gilid. Sa isang maliit na eskinita ay nag-aabang dito ang mga side ng Global Esports. But ang Talon muna ang mag-check ng every angle dito sa larong to.
Uy, all or nothing sila. He still bought it out! And there's a trade! Sushi Boys versus Monyet. Parehas na malalakas na APAC players. Pero nga lang, always check your angles. Nasa gilid mo lang si Monyet! And there's the round win for Global Esports. Nag-force itong mga taga-Talon. So alam mo na kung ano mangyayari next round. Magiging eco round lang to. So 3-0 most likely for Global Esports.
Tipid-tipid muna tayo dyan. Pistol muna. Hindi muna tayo makakabili ng mga utilities na mga baril. At dahan-dahan muna tayo sa mga gasusin. Inflation nga naman dito sa panahong to. And kung tutusin ng mga players na ito, really have to be careful with their spending. Dahil napakadelikado dito. Mapo, nakuha na kagad ng Global Esports, but looking so far sa performance nila ngayong gabi, it's just almost impossible for you to even see Global Esports falter in this level of confidence in this game.
Sana talaga hindi bumagsak yung level of confidence. Sabi ko nga guys, if they lose this against Global Esports, this is gonna be heartbreaking for them. May chance pa ba na makapasok sila papuntang playoffs? Medyo mahirap-hirap na nga lang yan. Pero si Kuya Macros, binigay muna. He tries to be successful in cutting off at least one flank from Global Esports. Pero may sagot na ata dahil nakatingin na si Monyet sa kanila. Tapos ngayon, sinamahan na nga kagad ng isa pang hibla ng buhok, si Garnet, at wala na namang magawa ngayon ang mga miyembro ng Global Esports. Although right now, kita-kita ko, nasa ng iba sa kanila, mafa-force pa rin naman yung Talon, yung plant na kailangan nila.
Pitas-pitas muna tayo dito bago mo na aalis sa site. At si Foxy, napakagandang post plant dito na ginagawa ng Talon, anticipating this pressure, anticipating this push na ibibigay sa kanila Global Esports. But kitang-kita mo naman dito kay Pansy, kahit Guardian lang namang isang bala ka lang, sabi daw dito ng Sky.
Parang ganun lang, Bam! Ouch!
Headshot yun eh. Ba't ka ganon?
Ay, sorry. Akala ko body shot.
Body shot sa katawan. Headshot sa ulo.
Ayun na, natututunan na ni Ling paano magtagalog ng mas maigi. Pero, ito pa. Parehas na teams, they focus on that harbor play already. Kasi alam naman natin na maraming compensation yan without A-stage. Diba dati mga tao bakit sila nag-harbor? Bakit nga diba? Pero, yung cove na yan, ang laking sagot niyan eh. Kahit wala ka ng sage, diba? Pwede mo pa rin ma-plant yung spike on that defaults itself. Tapos dito naman kasi yung mga APAC players natin, hindi naman sila nagpa-flash usually, but looks like for Global Esports, instead of having that Sova, they went on with that Sky itself just to be able to punish ang Talon. Kasi paano mo ba masosolusyonan itong mga to? Lagyan mo ng flash parate. Pero buta na lang si Garnet na kapag ma-push up nga kagad sa may mid pala. Anong main? Nakakita na nga kagad siya ng kalaban. Pero, oh my goodness. Nakita niyo yung hibla ng buhok ni Patipan. Nagtali kasi ng buhok si Harbor eh.
para hindi makita. Sumusunod daw sa galaw niya, pati ang rest of the team. And kitang-kita mo naman dito, Global Esports, handaan mo na tayo dyan. Kahit ako tayo ng initial picks, napalaking bagay din talaga na kumalma tayo. Medyo mag-aantayan tayo. Tayo muna ang magde-depende sa site na ito. Now, for the side of Talon, wala pa tayo nakikitang kasagutan. But the Seekers are gonna be on their way to even retrieve for more information kung saan ba talaga sila nanggagaling. With 40 seconds left on the clock, Talon has to hit this now or never. Given that SK Rossi in a quite vulnerable position, but it is going to be a really good angle for them to caught each and everyone here from Talon. Quite off guard! And of course, bago muna mapunta ang lahat, bago makakuha ng push, si SK Rossi na naman ang makakuha ng pitas.
Grabe, SK Rossi versus everyone. Yan ang tunay na paglalaban. Pero may only has a Guardian and yet he was able to tackle down 2 kills. At ngayon he gets a third. Gawin mo ng ace! SK Rossi is back on track. Nadali nga lang siya pero ngayon mukhang hindi talaga nadali ang kanyang pagpipigil against Talon Esports. And now si Bazzi nangaagaw ng ace pero okay lang yan. Ang importante pa rin is yung round win on a full by round by Talon, and Talon they just can't get connected all together para lang tong yung kausap mo, ka-talking stage mo at wala man lang kayong connection sa isa't isa.
Kaya i-ghost mo na yan kung ganyan ang mga...
Ay, grabe, nag-ghost pala si Ling. Ngayon ko lang nalaman, guys. Ako, kung hindi ko naman i-ghost, sasabihin ko na wala nang patutunguhan to. Pero sa kanila, i-ghost na, tatandaan nyo.
Straight up! Kailangan clear yung intentions nyo at kailangan talaga natin dito ng komunikasyon. At kung hindi naman talaga responsive yung kausap mo dito, Riri, what is the point kung ipagpatuloy mo pa ito?
Pasaan ba to patungo? Sa walang label. Sa situation.
Mag-settle ba tayo sa walang label? Siyempre hindi!
Gusto ko sa may label. At dati kasi mga terms MU eh. Ngayon, situationship. Wow! Level ng mga...
Iba talaga mga Gen Z ngayon.
Ako kasi, MU dati, tawagan natin? tawagan ng mga ano, diba? Pag talking stage kayo ng crush mo. Pero recon na nga mapupull off. Meron ba may kita? Wala! Ganun nga din, hindi ko talaga makita kung mahal na ako o hindi. At si Monyet, nakapag-bully pa nga, mapupush nyo sila ngayon. Tapos, lahat sila vulnerable. He gets the first round. May kasunod ba? Wala. There's just Garnets with a trade. Pero ngayon makakagat siya ng dog. Pero buti na lang may sagot si Foxy. Pero sariling teammate, pinatay niya. At ngayon, si SK Rossi na lang versus the 3 members of Talon. Will he be able to make this clutch? Yes or no? He gets the first kill. Pero nga lang alam na nila na nasa rafter side siya. Pero kailangan pa rin nila mag-ingat. He spots off right now. Crows, he might be able to get the top. Pero buto na lang. Swiningan na rin ni Foxy. Nice one, baby. 4-1.
Nasingit pa yun, ha?
Siyempre.
Nasingit pa talaga yun. Of course, naman ang hirap din talaga. Sisingitan talaga ni SK Rossi. So, 1v3 na iyon. Ganda sana pag-isolate ang kanyang mga angles. But it's just unfortunate though. Talon Esports mo medyo may konting kalat at konting organization amongst the chaos that they have brought amongst themselves. Good backup, good trades, and of course, the baby mo si Foxy. Napakagandang trade yun, di ba?
Pero di pa rin maganda yung round na yun. Kasi isa lang natira sa kanila. Sakit sa economy nun. But then, Garnet right now, he spots off one. Will he be able to get one? Yep, nakita kasi niya eh. Si Monyet eh. Nakita niya na kung nasaan. Si Viper ngayon din. Walang nakagat at all. But there's the second attempt. Ang dami nga ng ecoms ngayon. Everywhere. Okay. Pero naghihintay lang. May palakpakan nga lang sa side ng Global Esports. Kaya hindi nila pipilitan. Marami pa naman kasing oras para pumunta ng B. At kita mo kagad na pangunahan na din ni Cruz, pero ang next na tanong, makakapitas nga ba siya sa Snowman? Do you wanna build a Snowman?
Niebe.
Niebe!
Siyempre naman, kakaibang build-up talaga ng ginagawa dito ng mga team ngayon. It's just gonna be the chilling shots, the cold backs up sa mga kuha dito ng Viper. It is also the post plants na medyo makakuha ng konti kainitan. Lalo din sa side ni SK Rossi. Bladestorm muna tayo dito, sir. At mukhang the angles definitely gonna be checked here coming out from Cruz. Kuha muna ng dalawa at mukhang kinakailangan talaga ng Global Esports muna makakapagpitas ng isa. That is gonna be the Viper down to 25 at mukhang hindi pa nga nila mga end of court too soon yung duel na yun. Makakuha although sila ng operator para ma-save para sa second or sa next round nila.
Oh, no. Save. Foxy, tignan mo na sa kaliwa mo. Nandiyan na nga para sa'yo. Hindi mo papatignan na maayos. Oh my goodness. Paalam ka talaga. Ay! Nagkasala Nasa sa'yo na. Pero pinakawalan mo pa.
Sa iba kasi siya tumingin. Oh!
Sino tinignan niya?
Ewan ko, sa iba na naman.
Alam mo sino? Si Girl Bestie.
Ay!
Yung mga girl
Based on of experience.
Ang standard ko po talaga sa isang lalaki ay number 1, walang girl best friend.
Dapat ikaw na yung girl best friend.
Yes. Hindi lang ako girlfriend, kundi girl best friend. Ay, hindi lang ako girl best friend, kundi girlfriend din ako. But anyway, ang ganda ng cut-off ni Cruz papunta sa mid, diba? Hindi pa niya ginagawa yung flanks na yan. Nakukuha niya yung side all by himself and then i-call na lang niya to for his teammates to actually rotate. But here it is, the timeout. They gotta figure out it. Saan natin may kita si Cruz? So far on those 2 rounds and ipapanalo ng Talon, it's just all because of their IGL.
Oh, and exactly just that. And parang in his kit alone talaga, he has every capability talaga to in taking out as much map control as he can because sa utility na tinatapon niya, tapon na lang siya ng wall, tapon na siya ng smoke, and pwede na siya mag-rotate all across the map which keeps the enemy team guessing kung saan ba talaga siya manggagaling. And for the side dito ng Global Esports, mapapaisip talaga sila na kung paulit-ulit sila dito madadali with those flanks coming out from the Viper, it can be completely deadly for them. And Talon Esports, sabihin natin that split was not exactly a great start for them. They have every chance to bow here on Icebox, and I'm pretty sure they're already performing what we expect them to do.
This is pretty hard, especially sa Talon. Kapag sa Talon sila to, dito, Link, sobrang disheartening talaga to. Not just only for the fans, but especially to the players as well. They can't seem to get that one good game. Nung natalo sila ng Team Secret, seems like it's not working. Pero ngayon, Talon, sobrang aggressive ng ginawa ng Global Esports as they want to stop in here inside. Pero buti na lang kagad na figure out nila that that's how they want to do it. 3v1. It's all up to texture. Pero may kit siya mag-dive up ngayon. Pero nga lang, nakuha pa niya si Cruz. It's gonna be 2v1. Still, might favoring him. He still has that alarm bot. Meron pa siya kagad ngayon, nano swarm. Pero nga lang yung double swing nga ba ng Talon Esports ay mag-work all together. Nakita na nga kagad siya ni Patty nung narinig niya. Nagtapa na to. 4-3. Quick round for Talon. Buti na lang di sila na-punish ng mga Bucky.
Oh, delikado nga yun, lalo na talaga sa mga close angles sa B main. Isang malaking oportunidad man lang sana dito sa Global Esports. But you gotta say, parang isang lineup lang ginagawa nila dito para sa Foxy na ito. At mukhang isang mabilisang wipe out na to kaagad sa side ng Global Esports. Now, 43 na ang labanan. Naglalabas naman tayo muli dito ng off para kay SK Rossi. Malaking posibilidad na makakuha siya ng mga initial picks. But ang binabalak ngayon dito ng Talon Esports ay magte-take ng mid control. Not the best route, but this is gonna be the best deal that they have to even play around for.
Slowly but surely, Talon, can they take this? Para mapunta lang tayo sa map 3. Kasi pag nag-map 3 tayo, showdown to. Pero nga lang sa SK Rossi, wala siya may kita on that operator. Instead, si Foxes, nakapasok na agad siya sa loob. Dito nga lang, narinig na agad ng texture. Ilan yung mga miyembro ngayon na pupunta sa kanila? But Bazi on that! Of course, sa flash itself, nakuha niya si Cruz. Tapos yung plan sana ng Talon Esports, biglang nawala ngayon din. And right now, texture tries to pick up at least one member. Pero nga lang, dun sa duel na yun, natalo. There's just a trade-off coming from Garnets. It's gonna be a 3v3 pair. Good flank coming from Sushi Boys as he was able to take down Monyet. And it's up to SK Rossi na lang together with Irene. Pero buti na lang, nakuha pa yung Sushi Boys after that flank. And it's all up to Kapitan to make the things work well for the side of Global Esports.
Marami pa siyang utility na matatapon dito laban sa side ng Talon Esports. But the post plan, kitang-kita mo naman. It's gonna be the angles na hindi pa niya ma-anticipate. Huge kills coming here from the player of Garnet S. And you definitely see how much of an impact that they have basically done for this team. 4-4 na ang labanan. napakalaking habol na ginagawa ngayon dito ng Talon Esports. And we finally put the side here ng Global Esports up to an eco. Ganda ng mga pockets at sa kanilang pinakita. And this is definitely what Talon Esports did not, rather what Global Esports did not expect from their opposition.
Ito pa, ang magandang nangyari ngayon sa Talon. Alam nila nung after the time, they were all like, okay, feel ko yung figure it na lang kung nasaan si Crows. So why not we try si Sushi Boys to get that flanks? And it's actually pretty working well just because of Sushi Boys pinning down yung nasa mid part. Nakita na nga din yun yung information kung nasaan yung mga ibang miyembro as well for the side of Global Esports. Pero this is it. A thrifty round for Global. Baka naman Talon gusto nila mag-step up kasi kanina sa split na-eco sila ng Global Esports. Nag-crash down na naman yung momentum na tinatry nilang i-build up.
And it's just quite unfortunate kung mangyayari yan tuloy-tuloy. And of course naman, Talon Esports, medyo gumagapang sila ngayon eh. Medyo gumagapang talaga dahil medyo delikado din. Lalo na at makikita natin dito, Global Esports, napaka-agresibo sa mapang ito. Nag-aabang talaga ako ng pagkakamali. And of course, nag-aabang talaga ng opportunity at makapitas sila ngayon dito. Na si Monye with the Sheriff. Saktong zipline gaming muna tayo dito. At si Batipan muna mag-end out sa party nila dito para sa A-side. Konting may pag-spread out sila ngayon sa mapa dito, Rere, at mukhang Global Esports ay mukhang mapipilitan pa nga makatapon dito ng Seekers para makasecure ng more information. But si Cruz, nako, ang flank hindi na nagwo-work. Good thing na there's gonna be a backup here coming out from the harbor. Hitil is gonna be coming into play, but mukhang magdalaso muna tayo dito. The Seekers are gonna be a menace, but of course, he's gonna be taking one down before he falls.
Ito na, sasamahan ni Patipan. He sees that and finally gets that wall bang ready. 4-5. 4 consecutive rounds na nalo ang Global Esports. And for Talon naman, 5 consecutive rounds. Itong labanan na lang ngayon, mala-apak talaga, no? Ang bilis eh. Di ba, usually ngayon when you go up against other teams here in VPL, sobrang slow. Sobrang slow pace. Especially with Global Esports ka, di ba, ganun sila. And, pero for DRX, together with DRX, sobrang palong-palo. Pero ngayon, mas may kita mo, mas straightforward yung plays nila. Bakit? Because they have that controller eh. Meron kang Viper, meron kang Harbor. Ang bilis kagad makapag-steal ng site into your hands once na may na-pick off kang maaga, diba? Pero sa Global Esports, kung 4 or 5 lang yung nagawa nila sa half na to, maganda na to actually.
Oh, and especially with given that Icebox is gonna be a momentum-based map talaga na makikita mo. Given that your team, your utilities, and everyone is gonna be on point with your plays that you're trying to make. This is where you see yourself just spiraling yourself towards the victory of your team. Lalo na sa mapang to. And speaking of that, once you actually spiral, you have to take the necessary steps possible for you to even go in for the side takes. Until it's gonna be coming on the way. Alarm board being triggered. And makita mo naman dito, ang pag-responde. Global Esports taking out one SK Rossi all across the map. Napakagandang push nila papuntang sa A-main. But the action is still gonna be faltering through on towards the B-side objective.
May palakpak ngayon si Pat with that reckoning. Will he be able to spot out? Nakita siya kagad, pero di man lang nakuha. Pero after that, makokonkas nga karamihan ng member ng mga taga-Global Esports. Pero bawal kay Mexite because it's Monyet making it work together with Texture. And it's up to Sushi Boys. Biruin mo, may ultimates ka na sana. May papanalo kayo, pero nawawala. But then Sushi Boys, he gets the 2K ready for him. Pero nga lang maguguluhan siya ngayon because of Bazzi making it sure na makukuha kagad nila yung spike. Alam na niya kagad kung sino kailangan na ipin. Pero di man lang tumawa! Si SK Rossi na half-defuse ngayon ni Sushi Boys. Alam niya yung information kung nasaan ang dalawang miyembro. But then Texture makes a stop against him. And it will be an equalized score between Global Esports and Talon.
Man, for a moment I was already rooting for Talon. Napakaganda sana ng ginagawa nila. They were just trying to survive doon sa tinatapon sa kanila ng Global Esports. But kung tutusin, napakahirap na they were basically sandwiched onto the side. Wala ka na matatakasan. Nahuli ka na at nadadali na ang the rest of your team. And Sushi Boy, anong laban mo para sa dalawang to? Konting mistakes lang sana dito magagawa ng Global Esports at mukhang dun pa nga sana sila makakapag-capitalize sa kanilang mga kalaban. Napakasayang.
Nandun na lahat eh. It's up for grabs already. But then, Talon, sabi nila, maximize na natin tong last 2 rounds before we switch on the second half. Kasi kapag nag-switch tayo na side, sa tingin ko, mahihirapan yung Talon din. It's just gonna be almost the same setup as what we've seen against Global Esports on their attacking. Pero sabi nila, maximize natin to. We need to get that 2-round lead or else it might be over for us. It's not impossible for Global Esports to make those good comebacks. Ang init din nila sa defending eh. Considering nga na itong Talon, ang ganda ng performance nila sa attacking side. Pero itong dalawang to eh, attacker-sided talaga sila pagdating sa Icebox.
Oh, especially na makikita mo din yung glimpses of that type of identity in terms of their playstyle. SK Rossi, napakagandang aggressive plays that made a huge difference talaga sa mga rounds na iyon. And this is where we basically see Talon Esports being cornered sa mapang yun. And it's just impossible for you to even like wiggle yourself out of a situation na wala ka nang matatakasan. Kahit sabihin mo, kuha ka ng pitas, there's always gonna be a follow-up, a plan B kamo dito sa side ng Global Esports to make sure yung mga aggressive plays nila definitely plays off in this game.
This is it, Pansit, sa Talon as of now. Medyo parang nagulat ako, parang sobrang lakas ng pagkirinig ko sa kasamahan ko. But right now, Crossy takes down Monyet, Texture takes down Cross. Nice trade-offs lang mula sa Global Esports together with Talon. Pero habang yan ay nagmi-miss out, kitang-kita mo naman na itong Talon, commit pa rin ba nila to? Yes! Nakita nila yung swing coming in for Farsi, but then SK Rossi will be able to tackle down one. It's gonna be 3v3. Tapos meron nakakasamang Blade Storm ngayon. Pagdating kay SK Rossi, it's gonna be the battle of the jet. Pero malang na-reveal ako nasaan siya, pero buti lang may salo. Wala ka hearing na si Gets out 2! At yung spike, napagdating sana ng chance for Talon. And yet, nawala ngayon din. It's all up to Mr. Foxes, but that's not gonna work. Texture takes him out. It's a 6-5. Nakabawi na rin kagad ng Global Esports against them.
Grabe naman tong SK Rossi na ito. Saktong bawi lang muna tayo doon at saktong kaasiman talaga na mapapakita niya para to make sure na napaka-productive ng kanilang mga aggressive pushes. Lalo na makikita natin yon with the support here coming up from Irene. Gandang call sila at ang gandang initiative na napapakita dito ng Global Esports. Just making sure that A-site is not exactly gonna be the place to be na makakuha ng Talon ng basta-basta.
Grabe, Talon. Andun na eh. Andun na sila sa pick for get out of my way. Talaga dala na ayos ito. Ang daming naglo-lose sa Talon side. But anyway, while that is happening, Garnets nga, gagamitin niya ngayon ang kanyang Blade Storm just to be able to secure some kills. Pero papunish talaga nila yung B-side. Talagang ito yung pupuntahan nila. Pero mag-ingat na because Texture is right there and he's waiting for the frags. Monyet, nakaabang na nga rin kaagad. But then there's just the shock darts. Sana hindi mag-waste ang Talon ng utilities ngayon dahil madedelay silang hirap i-commit to. But then, they are still gonna be committing it. No problem. Pero baka madetain silang lahat. Okay, lockdown has been destroyed. There's the answer coming from Foxes as he takes down Texture. Pero ngayon, haharapin ngayon ni Garnet. Ang kalaban niya ngayon sa may tube side. Pero si Foxes talaga ngayon yung nakalapit. And while that is happening, SK Rossi, nasa kanya ba ngayon ang solusyon para manalo sila? Pero mukhang ayaw ng Talon ibigay ito. Gusto nila. Half tayo ngayon sa pinakaunang parte ng Icebox map as kay SK Rossi na lang ngayon ang baso pero mukhang hindi. Siya pinayagan ni Garnets. It's gonna be a 6-6.
6-6 and a flawless Omen Victus play doon na magagawa coming out here from the side of Talon na napakagandang play at napakagandang half na pinakita nila coming out from both teams. And to even think of it, that was basically a very split second talaga that made or break on how the games actually went through. And for Talon to actually hit all those shots through the smoke. Imagine kung makikita pa nila yung kalaban and for them to keep this up on towards the B-side take, it is basically everything that they need to even win out this game. And before that, I'm pretty sure the panel has a lot of things to say during this halftime.
Maraming salamat, Ling and Ray Ray. Well, we went 6-6 here, Global Esports versus Talon. So first off, I want to talk about SK Rossi is popping off as he makes his debut into VCT Pacific. But again, Global Esports has shown us that they are locking down these sites again. But Talon has seemed to found a way, you know, they've taken that mid control and kind of exploited Global Esports' weakness. So going to the next half, what can we expect?
Going to the next half, we'll see the counters go in play. But just from the first half a while ago, pretty good for Talon Esports. They were able to adjust. Ace not working, transfer it away. Adaptability, Talon Esports showing it here on the first half.
Tingin ko super apparent pa din yung win condition sa Global Esports. It's just to give Moniet as much space as he can to work because his bailout has been amazing. Aaron has been put into so many clutching situations. Again, some of them are really close. Sushi Boys had that insane 3K that could have been it. But I guess the way to put this shortly is that gumising na yung Talon and they're playing really, really well. They're adjusting, as Bruce mentioned. It's just global. This is where they kind of have to be a little more systematic in their approach for this attacking side.
Well, gumising na nga. We can see they definitely, this is a huge difference compared to the first map that we have. Pero, going into the next map, will we see Global Esports ramp up the momentum that we've seen them from, the similar lineup that they have? Or will Talon Esports, have a way better defense here because...
Okay, yeah. The thing is, if it's Global Esports, the moment they find it hard, the mechanic's gonna go wrong. But anyway, that's about it for us. We're going to throw it back to our casters, Ling Ling and Ray Ray. Kayo na bahala dyan.
Kami talaga muna ang bahala dito. At of course naman sa side dito ng Talon, kinakailangan talaga nila that they have to take matters into their own hands. Dahil 6-6 na ang labanan. Medyo close to their comfort ngayon ang scoreline na ito. At kinakailangan talaga dito coming up from every player that there is to make every contribution possible in contributing to this win. And speaking of that, A-side might be the place to be. Napakagandang aggressive po siya magagawa nila dito papunta sa A-side. Gandang backup dito coming from controller. Cruz though, making as much sure talaga na walang space na makuha ng basta-basta dito. Global Esports, last on angle, makakuha pa nga siya dito ng isa, posible gandang classic plays, but mo si Garnet X at mo si Foxy, muna magtatapos sa kanyang team. Gandang backup as Rosin, Irene is gonna be out here for the play, but the duelist, Irene, Bazzi, with the quick on guiding na tap on win with the ghost, si Bazzi nga pala makakuha dito para sa side ni Sushi Boys, 1v2, no spike being planted, a minute left on the clock, and Bazzi all left to his own devices, putting out this single push that you have to make and put this initial take for this half.
Naku, ang ganda na sana ng startup ng mga taga-Global Esports. Pero nga lang, Pat saves the day. Siguro sabi ni Pat, ano? Pero shaky pa rin yung defending nila.
Wala siyang sinabi dun, Rhea.
Ako lang. Translate ko lang. Pero ito Talon, okay, that's good. They won the pistol round. But the most important thing right now is that ang shaky ng defending nila. Paano na kapag nakakuha itong mga taga-Global Esports ng actual guns? Kapag naging gun round talaga to, baka matalo sila unti-unti. Pero syempre, it's too early to say that because Patipan, sabi niya, too easy. Parang another day na naglalaro siya ng VALORANT. Hindi mo makikiting kabay. Parang, okay, nice. Dapat ganun na yun, calm and composed. Ganun ka ba pag naglalaro ka naman?
Hindi, tilted ako lagi. Sana ito ang mamana ko sa mga Pacific players ngayon. Sana nga naman dito yung makikita natin na matutunan dito coming up from either of the team. Innovation is gonna be the play here dito, Riri, at mukhang nakikita naman tayo dito. Both sides coming in with a force on by. All points out dito kung sino pa talaga ang mas magwawagi, ang magpuput out ng best decisions, ang magpuput out ng mga right places and positioning sa depensa na ito or sa attacking malang na magagawa dito ng Global Esports.
Uy, nagpe-prepare na sila. Wag mong pipilitan, Foxes. Berbura na lang si Cruz. May sagot na siya kagad dyan. Nag-birth na nga lang din siya kagad. Nagpapaulan na sila ng mga Spectres, ng mga Stingers as of now. But it's still a 4v4. Cruz, low on HP. Papunish pa rin ba sila? Yes! Masyado lang inaasip si Bazzi. They don't really need to do that. They really need to play defensive. And right now, Patiman, together with Garnets na lang kagad ang natitira sa isang glove. Of course, matatry ni SK Rossi kung meron siyang mapapunish sa mid part. Wala na sila dyan, guys. Ba't pa kayo naghihintay sa wala? Kailangan nila talagang mag-rotate papuntang B-side. They lose this. They will also lose the next round. Why? Wala na silang pera sa side ng Talon Esports.
Oh, especially na wala din masyadong reward na nakakuha itong mga side ngayon ng depensa. Talon Esports really have to habol, really have to win out this round. Kasi kung tutuusin, napakahirap talaga ang lalabanan dito ngayon ang side ng Global Esports given that they have the advantage of like a little bit more coordination. Just like how Raf said, approaching this game in a more systematic manner. And to even imagine that everyone just basically trying to make themselves online in this game, and with the utilities coming into play here, Cascade, napakagandang block off at makita mo naman dito a moment of desperation here coming out from the side of Talon. Ako naman, napakasayang!
Mapapasabi ka ng sayang na sayang talaga. Pero ito yun ang mga naging mali ng Talon doon is that si Sushi Boys together with Cruz, pinik nila si Bazzi right? At parang hindi naman, that's really unnecessary. Dapat hindi nila talaga ginamit yun. At talo pa sila sa man move, di pa nila alam yung information. Akala nila magko-commit pa rin sa A-site, mag-reheat ng yung Global Esports against them. Pero good call sa Global Esports. Hindi na dapat natin pinipilit pa yung A-site. At nangyari nga and that round was able to determine na tong Global Esports. They really want to take that lead. SK Rossi, will he be able to spot off one? Hindi pa. Pero nga lang, inaamoy-amoy nila ngayon. There's the Cove. Pat wants to bail out. Hindi siya makukuha ng Global Esports.
Hindi pa talaga siya basta-basta magpapapitas dun sa B-main position. It was basically enough for them to gather enough information kung saan ba talaga at kung anong utilities ang matatapon dito ng Global Esports. Now, dahan-dahan muna tayo dito. Konting lurk galing kay Tekler. Mangangapa muna tayo kung may natitira dito sa site. That is gonna be Garnet S. The only problem that he has to deal with. But it's just gonna be Sheriff though ang kanyang maglalabas. Ganda na spray with the Spectre, but unfortunately, the follow is gonna be coming out here from the side of Global Esports. Texture taking out 2. Napakagandang push towards the smoke dito ni Montier. At makita mo naman isang flawless by Omen HP na magagawa dito muna ng Global Esports.
Walang nangyari, Ling. It's just a snap. Ang ganda, okay, they want to make that into a play, pero nga lang, pinilit lang ng Talon Walang pwede na lang sulitin. At itong next round, magdedetermine ng magiging pacing ng ng game na to. If Talon won't be able to secure this round, then that's just gonna be it. May 2-round lead ng Global Esports. Tapos wala na naman silang pera next. Pero ito na yung sagot nila. Mukhang kailangan talaga nila daw yung operator para pwedeng may makita. Pero hihintayin lang niya to. Marunong kasi maghintay si Garnets as of now. Pero si Texcha, ayaw niya talagang silipin to. Pag sinilip na to, mine ka talaga. Parang ano lang, pag bumibili ka sa online shopping mine talaga Pero buti na lang kay Garnets, di na siya nag-stretch out kasi meron ngang nakatingin sa kanya na turret. But while that is happening, these guys from Global Esports, they are gonna be pushing sa may B-site mismo. Isa lang nakaabang. It's going to be Patipan. Pero humingi na siya kagad ng information. Kaso nga lang, Garnets, may natuhog. Di natin nakita. Pero kakakain lang namin kaninang kwek-kwek at gusto atang makisama ni Garnets. Still, Erin goes for a plant. Pipilitin niya talaga kung ano pwedeng mangyari. But then Patipan, he gets his third kick agad ngayon! As Talon really wants to secure this map against Global Esports.
Oh, that was clean. That was flawless na pinakita ngayon dito ng side ng Talon. Isang mabilisang colat dun sa aiming kuha ni Garnet S. And Patifan naman din. Magpapakitang gilas muna tayo dito sa B side. Left and right, side by side. And of course, up, down, left, right. AB. Yun ang pinakita niya. Controller gaming, hindi. Naku naman, pinakita niya lahat ngayon. These flex players are doing whatever they can para makatulong sa team at para makatulong dito sa larong to. In this series, napakalapit muna tayo dito sa Icebox. A really close matchup, but we have to see who's gonna be inching closer for this map control on towards mid.
This is pretty harsh. Sa Global Esports, they lose this, they lose later on. Baka nga maging 8-10 pa nga ang score na papabor sa Talon. Ito pa sa Talon, meron silang Reconing and meron pa silang Hunter's Fury mula kay Foxes. Pero nga lang si Pat, may nabahawas na din siya kagad. That's going to be Erin himself. And it seems like the control mid sa Global Esports won't actually work.
Oh, might actually work or would not. That is gonna be the question here sa side ng Global Esports. They're basically throwing whatever they can, but it's just unfortunate though. Yung mga quick switch-ups na ginagawa dito ng Talon in terms of their defense made a huge difference talaga on how the rounds basically went. Laking impact na magagawa dito ni Garnet S and the duelists themselves. Just putting out initial frags, initial pickings, but information is gonna be definitely gonna be kicking in on towards A side. Good on hold, nagagaling dito para kay Foxy, but the flash is gonna be there. Mabubulag muna tayo dito sa site. Walang makikita at walang munang magtatawid. Global Esports gumagapak at naubos na naman! Hindi pa muna magpapahuli dito ang side ng Talon Esports.
So na lang makalamang. Looks like they are already, gising na, Ling. Kita mo naman yung ginawa ni Garnet on that side, diba? Pinush niya kagad with that operator. And even if yung Seekers in-out ngayon, ni Baz, ni Bazzy, hindi nga nag-work. Kasi nga, tignan mo naman, nakaharang yung wall. This wall is intended for Global Esports to actually go inside the site na mapapunish talaga sila ng mga prepared members ng Talon for that take. Pero nga lang ngayon, iniwasan lang nila. But yung Rico, nakita nila kung nasaan yung mga miyembro ngayon ng mga taga-Global Esports at iniisa-isa sila ngayon para silang ginawang pinagpestahan sila rather ng Talon Esports. It's all up to Bazzy, but then hindi ba nag-work yung plano ni Garnet? He gets the second. Sige, silipin niya pa si Bazzy as of now! And it's all by himself, but Foxes will be able to take him down, and it's gonna be an 8-10. It's not over yet for Talon.
It's not over till it's over. Antayin talaga natin na makapag-abot man lang isang team to up to 13, but no one is gonna be even able to put this game up to the conclusion that they all expect to have. Bazzy putting out those huge plays with the Sheriff, but unfortunately though, makikita natin dito, Talon Esports, ganda ng kanilang coordinated plays na makikita, na mabibigay para sa kanilang A-site pushes. Huge difference, and of course, a huge play and a well-called off initiative na magagawa nila muli dito sa A-site. Impossible to penetrate, and Global Esports, nako naman, napapilitan talaga sila makuha dito para sa kanilang time out because they have to figure out ano ba ang kinakailangan nilang babaguhin sa larong to get an advantage, to get the upper hand against Talon.
Kasi nakita mo Link kung anong nangyari sa kanila eh. They can't seem to move those actual angles at all. Na-overwhelm na sila with how powerful itong mga tropa natin mula sa Talon on their defending. But then for Global Esports, they need to really take this count and connect it. Kaya nga talagang kinukol nila ngayon yung timeout na to eh. Para lang sabihin kung ano yung pwede nilang gawin pa on their attack. Ang ganda na nung start nila actually, di ba? But yet, nung counter eco na nangyari, hindi pa rin ata hindi pa rin ata nagpatinag itong mga taga Talon, and seems like yung walls talaga ng double controller on your defending is really gonna punishing down a team that has a lot of flashes.
Oh, definitely. But I really do hope na magagamit din talaga nila itong mga flashes na ito para makapag-counter out man lang sa mga walls, sa mga smoke, sa mga tinatapon sa kanila dito ng Talon Esports. But it's just unfortunate though that the timing is a bit off talaga. They're a bit offbeat sa larong to. And I do hope that everyone has to figure out the type of coordination that they basically require in putting out these successful executes, especially on A na nahihirapan sila.
Makakapag-reset nga ba tong Global Esports? Kasi pag di sila nakapag-reset, pupunta nga tayo eh sa third map, which is going to be really vital. Kasi tong Haven map, it's gonna be just all those press W's at magmamatter nga kung sino magsisimula sa attacking side. Pero habang yan ang nangyayari, Garnet still waiting patiently kung may timing ba, pero pa-pop off muna yung flash. Pero obviously, alam na niya na merong isang naghawak ng Sky. Alam na nila na merong isa pa, but texture. Kapag nakuha yung turret na yan, alam na nila kung nasaan ang isang miyembro ngayon. But then, hello! Si Pata ko na si Erin! At ano mangyayari yung spike? Kailangan nila abangan ngayon! Pero nga na si Monyet, nag-timing pa sila, nagsakasalisahan pa sila ngayon ni Pat, and he'll be able to hear those footsteps. Is he gonna win that duel? No. But then, delayed na ngayon ang oras for Global Esports.
But makahabol pa nga sila. Ang kinakailangan talaga nila is makapitas man lang dito sa A-set. Kung yun ang kung tutusin, kung yun man lang ang i-commit nila para sa round na ito. 19 seconds left on the clock. Makikita mo naman nagdadalawang isip sila kung anong angles ang ita-take. But si Carles hindi pa nga magdadalawang isip sa mga angles na kanyang pipitas man lang. Hunter's Fury para sa isa napakagandang Viper Spit para makapag-control man lang para sa retake dito ng Talon. But dahan-dahan muna tayo. Napakahirap talaga maka-retake with the operator. But Carles mapipilitan pa nga muli dito makalabas ng kanyang Blade Storm ng isang angle. Lane for one. Napakagandang dagger papunta kay Bazzy. Quick on reset para sa kanyang Blades. SK Rossi, napakagandang kasagutan, but the short replays are still gonna be there. 3v2 ang labanan. Viper Spit is no longer gonna be online. At si Carletes here to pop off left and right para sa kanyang Blades, but he does not check the angle. SK Rossi going on backup. He has the Blade Storm, but does not enough time. Naku naman! 1v1 ang kanilang kailangan lalabanan. But Texture though, dito muna tayo sa gilid. And of course, this is gonna be the quick swing. Good round here coming out from Global Esports, but an almost round dito para sa Talon.
Buti na lang ang ginawa ni SK Rossi doon is nag-updraft siya para lang hindi siya mapitas kagad ni Garnets. Kasi pag napitas siya ni Garnets, that's just it. You know, this round, it's gonna go into the hands of Talon. But then after planting the spike, binok off na kagad nila yung magandang smoke coming from the Viper's pit, and they were able to buy a lot of time. Calm and composed pa rin ang Global Esports, even if that was a pretty harsh round sa kanila na binibigay ng Talon. But as for Talon, when will they actually reset about this? Garnet pa rin. Pipilitin niya pa rin yung operator na yan as he tries to take out at least one member from Global Esports. Kita mo naman, 5 out of 5 ultimates are ready for them.
Isang malaking sugal na yung tatapon naman muli dito ng Global Esports. A-site naman. Ang kanilang pipilitin, Seekers are gonna be coming all its way. Tailbears are leading the parade here. But Viper Smith na agad matatapon dito ni Cruz para makapag-delay man lang sa mga push sa ginagawa. Foxy, good on initial frags, but the Cove itself and gonna be there. Chop start here to attack off the Irene. Walang spike cut na magaganap muna tayo dito muna, sir. Sushi Boys, napakagandang last on angle. Cloudburst gonna be there to put on the play here, solidifying their positions. And speaking of that, they have to get the frags. They have to get here a quick on follow-up para kay Texture. Napakagandang penetration sa kanyang defensa, but it's still left here in the objectives. Sa kinakailangan talaga ni Kokomit. There goes the Cascades. There goes Patifan off the board. Lockdown is being committed here, coming out from the attacking side. Global Esports, 3 ang kanilang makakuha dito coming out from the side ni Foxy. But mukhang ma-back off away muna tayo sila dito with that lockdown dome.
Oh, they will still plant for the safer part. Pero nga lang, ang operator medyo passive to. So na kay Foxy ngayon, ang kasagutan, kumakapitan siya. Yes, he will be able to get that 4K. And now, it's all up to Texture. Garnet goes for the defuse. Talagang pipilitin niya to. Mag-iingat ka lang talaga because here we have Texture. He tries to go for that clutch. And yes, he is there for that clutch. Napakagandang clutch nga kagad ng ginawa niya with that Red Bull clutch time. 10 to 10. Akala natin yung 2v1 magiging maayos na link, but it seems like there's something missing sa Talon as of now.
It's not about something missing. It's about something talaga na dinisplay so far ng Global Esports after putting out that timeout. Napaisip sila, they corrected a lot of mistakes na ginagawa nila from the previous half, and you can definitely see talaga on that how quickly they have adapted in this competition. They have innovated in terms of their plays and in terms of deciding who should be talaga na magsa-step up sa larong to, and that is Texture round after round, clutch after clutch na pinapakita niya sa team na ito, and Talon talaga really has to deal with this player sooner or later.
Grabe, the comeback from that 8 to 10. Sobrang na-maximize lahat ng capabilities ng Global Esports, and they are still there. Very structured. Rather than Talon, di ba? Amazing na sana yung ginawa ng Talon, but then nananalo lang sila. Kasi medyo nagmamadali ang Global Esports. Pero ngayon, na after the timeout, nakapag-reset nga sila. When will be the next answer? Kasi ngayon, wala silang pera. Finorce pa rin nila yun kanina. Tapos ito pa, yung 1v1 na yun medyo nagmadali. Yung 2v1 na yun, nagmadali yung Talon. They got to, parang naging complacent sila. Knowing na isa na lang kaagad yung natitira. And itong Global Esports, sabi nga natin, if they are on momentum, they are unstoppable. And it's really paving in as of now na walang nagagawa yung Talon at all. Pero mukhang may mga tayo dito, big fans ni Monya. Personally, ako, big fan ako ni Monya. Ang galing talaga niya Neon sa Haven. Yung talagang nakita ko sa kanya last LCQ nung nasa, pa siya, Onyx.
Grabe.
Share ko lang.
Ang ganda din talaga kasi nadadala talaga nila kahit sabihin mo nanggagaling sila from different teams, different roles, and to even imagine that na naka-carry over and nata-translate nila yung skill na yan with different roles such as like playing for controller. You can definitely see them not discounting the fact that they still have skills, but they also have that adaptability. They have to adapt to the decisions na ginagawa talaga ng teams para sa kanila to even perform better. And you can definitely see that here on Icebox. And a while ago, on Split, Monye had this great moments. Kanina, ang ganda na simula. He already had the ace with the classic pistols na pinapakita talaga nila and letting the rest of the world know that his presence is there in the map and the team really has him to rely on para makapag-step up.
Persons like our fans there, G fighting. Kita mo na mga nila, printouts nila as of now. Drawing ba nila? May iba
nag-print ng...
Nag-print sila. So cute. I like it. And here we have Yung mga, oh, may iba sinulat nila. Ang cute. So cute.
Dapat yung mga casters yung yun. Wendell, ikaw na.
Ikaw na bala sana, Wendell. Ang cute naman ng mga printouts nila na ganyan. Nasa sinusulatan nila. Yung the ano talaga, the creativity and the ano talaga, support that they have for their own players, right? And yung G kasi they are composed of very sabihin na lang natin, iba-ibang lahi, di ba? And yet they're able to get this one great super team that they want to win here in the VPL. Pero syempre, hindi pa tapos. 10 make a wish. Pero nasa upper hand ng global esports ngayon. Pwede pa silang marami pa silang pera. So ito na nga, hinabol na si Patty as of now. Di na siya makakapag-bailout ngayon. But he can give those little information. Pero don't get too excited, guys. Really need to look as to where Dexter is. He punishes out to one with the Spectre. Pero to pipilitin ba ni Foxes ngayon? Walay. Sila lang talaga kagad ni Cruz na natitira.
Although sa kabilang side ng map, makita mo talaga dito na side ng Global Esports nakuha na ng isang mabilisan dito ang B-side. Talon, mukhang wala po muna tayo masasagot dito with just the Sheriffs. Nag-aabang lang talaga sila na may madadali dito with their A-main push. Now, Sova and the Viper working together side by side. Really have to take out Texture here. Now he's gonna be playing in for the anti-flag for the team here for Global Esports. Dahan-dahan muna tayo dito, checking every angle that there is with the Recon Bolt and with those dry peaks. You could definitely hear na may turret dito, but si Texture nga naman is gonna be playing for this off angle. Spectres muna ang labanan, and of course naman, he's gonna be has every capability there is to overwhelm his enemies with the rate of fire. But the gamings naman dito on the trade-offs coming in from Talon was basically enough for them to eliminate the problem.
Oh, si Foxes di siya namatay. Papatay ka, dalian mo! Ayan.
Apat pa na
pick. Walang pera, di ba? Pag sinave niya lang yun, 11 to 10. And the Talon, they have 3 ults ready. They have the Reconing. They have that lockdown, and they also have that Hunter's Fury. Kailangan nila i-maximize din. But as for Global Esports, they have the upper hand. They are already, imagine that was from an 8 to 10. And nanalo nga sila ng 3 consecutive rounds. Ang gandang reset yung ginawa nila. The amount of support, even if si Arin nga, sabi nga natin, sobrang talaga, hindi siya makapag-frag. But the setups that he's been doing for his teammates are so big. At ngayon, meron bang mapapunish? Nakita nila kung nasaan si Garnet as of now. And Texture will be playing along the lines. He bails out of it. Iko-commit na nila to dahil baka may ma-reveal sa kanila ngayon. Pero Foxes, gagamitan ng Hunter's Fury ang isa. Mananakaw niya ang buhay ni Irene. Bawas ang miyembro ng Global Esports. Pero kasi, still, yung staple ng Global Esports nandyan pa rin naman. If only SK Rossi will be able to take one frag out of Talon, winnable pa rin to sa kanila.
Oh, but you definitely have to make sure that the trade-off is definitely gonna be worth it here para sa side ng Global Esports. Dahan-dahan muna tayo dito. Konting pick-off galing dito sa mid-control na makuha ni Bazzi. Napakagandang kuha dito ng Sky Flashes. But of course, Sushi Boys, with him off the board, is gonna be leaving Kitchen mid-position in a really vulnerable angle. That Seekers on its way here papunta sa A-side. Makapuha one time dito ng informasyon. Vipers at Snake Pet ang kanilang matatapon. But he's gonna be forcing the side of Talon Esports in really awkward angles.
30 seconds habang pinagdedebatehan nila ngayon, mukhang si Pat, nakita niya yung information kung saan magagaling mga miyembro ng Talon. But then SK Roses sa ultimate, ang kanyang Bladestorm, he was able to tackle on against Cruz. Nabawasan nga sila ng isa, pero yung timing, makuha ni Pat, he might be able to get that reconnect para lang makuha yung actual na information. He gets the 2 kills, he gets the 3K, and it's up to Texture. 3v1, makuha na ba tong flank? He cuts off one, pero Pat goes for the defuse already. He tries to kill him with those nano swarms, but it's too late, guys, to apologize. 11-11 sale it is. Noong may narinig na si Pat na may nanggaling sa tube, nag-iba lahat at pumabor pa nga to sa Talon.
Oh, napakasayang at napagaling din ng ginagawa dito ni Patifat para sa kanyang team. Kitang-kita mo naman, gandang use ng utilities, gandang cascade, at ang gandang spray transfer din na kanyang may papakita. And of course, that mechanical prowess na may papakita is gonna be side by side here with the backup of his team. Kahit sabihin mong nakakancel out yung plant na yun, there is still a huge opportunity here coming out from Global Esports to even turn things around. But good thing though, Talon Esports, everyone is here in the game and online.
Dito sa Icepack, sobrang ibang-iba yung countermeasure na nilalabas ng parehas na teams na to. Kapag may bagong trap card sa Talon, meron ding ilalabas itong Global Esports. Parehas silang prepared sa mismong mapang to, pero it's just gonna be trimming down sa sino bang mas makakabigtas sa isa't isa. Si SK Rossi na may mili siya. Sino nga ba yung kailangan niyang kalabanin ngayon? Pero it seems like the discipline from Talon Esports, hindi nila ipipick off ito dahil baka sila pa ang madamay. May lockdown ngayon na pwedeng gamitin si Sushi Boys. May reconing din na manggagaling kay Erin. Pero after getting those information necessary, aalis muna si Garnet. Meron na namang flash. Kakalabanin ba niya to? Talagang aasipin niya, it's gonna get concussed. He won't be able to get that kill. Pero sabi nila, this is the call to get that lockdown ready too for Sushi Boys.
Oh, dahan-dahan tayo dito muna, sir. Dahil may ultimate na commit muna dito ang Talon to even further stall off their enemies. 30 seconds left on the clock, but they really have to take as much as map control that they could have in this game. And of course, we could definitely see the efforts here committed here from Monye to actually put out that flank. But a quick conflict na makita natin papuntang B-side is definitely gonna be enough for them to trigger a rotation. But a few more actions here coming out from the side of A site. Irene forcing out the plant, and makita muna natin dito, Talon really have to pull out the rotation, and for the efforts here ng Sky na si Bazzi really has to cut off as much people as possible, especially the Harbor that's really lurking right behind him. And he does. Good play.
3v3, man advantage sana sa Talon, pero that is so smart of Irene to do. That 3K is very important, and it's up to Foxes to get that 1v2 workable sa kanila. Nakita na nga din siya kagad ng alarm bot, tapos kita mo naman kagad yung plant ngayon. Trinay niya sinira kung meron man mga setups coming from Global Esports, but this is really gonna giving him a hard chance. He goes for the defuse, half on HP siya, pero yung oras, 7 HP na lang siya. Bazzi will be able to get him, and it's already match point for Global Esports. Comeback pa just because of Bazzi cutting off Patipan.
Oh, it says them just making sense of all this chaos na ginagawa nila sa mapang to. Global Esports, A-site, B-site, di ba kapag decide, but ang gandang fake na kanilang pinapakita para maka-force man lang ng rotation dito para sa side ng Talon. Now 12 to 11 match point na dito para sa side ng Global Esports, and you can definitely see the economy here ng Talon in shambles right now. 4 Sheriffs and the Vandal, what can they do at this point?
What can they do? They need to tell us na yung kanilang pag-aakit para sa panalong to ay buhay pa din. Pero Patipan, meron ba siyang next na planong gustong sabihin ngayon din? Wala pa naman kasi. Pero nga lang, will those Sheriffs make for much impact para lang mapunta tayo ng overtime? Irene goes for a plant. Mayroon siya ngayong cover mula sa kanyang teammate, which is going to be SK Rossi. But here it is, the special part. Naplanta nila ng Global Esports. Makakahinga sila ng malalim. But Talon, looks like Garnet was able to take down Texture. Good opportunity to sa kanya. Meron na siya ngayong ready na Blade Storm. Pero ang layo pa nila sa mapa as of now. And their members right now na nasa B-side ay bumabagsak na agad kagad. At ngayon, na-cut off na sila ni Bazzi after getting that counter. And it seems like we only have together with Foxes, at mukhang wala na silang no choice ngayon. Looks like the Icebox map is already up there and confirming, and it's up to Foxes to make up with something, pero kitang-kita na siya ngayon. And we have Global Esports finishing this with a clean 2-0, and finally, nakita na natin ang first win nila dito sa VALORANT Pacific League.
Oh, what a really close match. And you can definitely see talaga dito that Global Esports just finishing this game strong and solid here on Icebox. Napagandang performance coming out from both teams, but you definitely have to give resilient efforts na pinapakita dito ng Talon, giving everything that they can in this game. Huge flanks, huge quick on plays dito, especially from Sushi Boys, and the magandang calls na gagawa ng kanilang mga IGL. But even to put everything into consideration, nakita mo talaga that Global Esports definitely have to say talaga that could be better in this series. Not just this series alone, but gotta say, this matchup na pinakita nila, even if they're playing for the player substitutions, SK Rossi in, makita mo naman talaga that they have definitely well prepared here on Icebox and on Split too.
yung split talaga nila, sobrang powerful nila. But here in Icebox, we all thought this is going to favor Talon. But it seems like it's not happy ang mga nasa watch party natin as of now. Pero gusto ko i-compliment ang Global Esports. Imagine, that came from an 8-10. They were able to stop them for 3 consecutive rounds. Tapos, kumunti ka na nga tayo mapunta sa overtime. Pero walang nangyari sa Talon. The fact that they forced yung second to the last round, yun na yung dapat na naging sagot nila. Imagine, that was a 4 victory and yet they lost just because they weren't able to pin down Irene. Yung mga necessary rounds na hindi natin nakita mag-pop off si Irene, dun talaga siya mas lalong gumagaling. And for Talon, wala pa silang panalo so far sa ligang to. Medyo talagang mahirap na sabihin na makakapasok sila sa playoffs. Pero Global Esports, there is still hope for them. Totoo nga yung tweet ni Erin. May surprise kami para sa inyo. And eto na nga guys, clean 2-0. At ito pa, Icebox pa yung mapang nanalo sila. Na sometimes they are being caught off guard ng mga teams na nakakalaban nila.
And you gotta say talaga, sa mga ganung mga losses, you definitely have to take into account talaga yung mga learnings na accumulate mo throughout this series. Napakahirap ng labanan at slow ng gapang dito ng side na Global Esports. But you still have to take into account talaga na hindi madali talaga yung journey from each and every team here playing for the Pacific League. The level of competition is insane. The teams are definitely gonna be well prepared of your plays and of course doing their homework as well sa mga games na pinapakita mo. Kahit natalo ka, you still have to innovate. You still have to put out a different show in every game that you play in. And Global Esports basically deliver that. Pinakita talaga nila that their journey here on the Pacific League is hindi pa tapos. Meron pa silang maipapakita and of course, kalaban na nila ngayon ang Talon and nakita mo naman kung paano nila na-overpower yung opposition.
Pero syempre guys, sobrang congratulations sa ating Global Esports. Pero syempre guys, to further explain kung anong nangyari sa ating series ngayon, let's pass it over to Rebisco and of course with our 2 boys there.
Welcome back to the panel. Thank you, Ling and Ray Ray. That was a really wonderful series. As you can see, again, Global Esports have finally calibrated their team. They have finally calibrated their whole team to take 2-0 against Talon Esports, and Raf is not taking it well. Raf, how is the defeat going for you?
Sabi ni Raf, ayos lang.
This is what a defeated man looks like for his defeated team. But I mean, again, in the second game, well played to Talon Esports. Medyo close yung game this time, wouldn't you say, Raf?
Closer.
Closer.
Well, Raf sets up, yeah. Pretty close, pero it was just too late on the end of Talon to really come online. Coming in for the first half, kung pag-iisipan natin, Global Esports, they were on the lead for up to 4 rounds and kind of took Talon quite some time to really go online.
That is true. And I mean, when we got the side swap,
Why do we sound weird? Hello?
Huh?
Nothing. It's
Is
the sound
that
of
me?
defeat. I'm hearing the sound of defeat.
Well, again, guys, just back to, on more serious things, I thought it was really impressive by Talon to keep pushing the tempo and being the more aggressive team. Lalo na sa defense, they really got Garnets going first. But then, obviously, GS, that system that they have where Monyet gets so much space and so much value is just so impressive. And maybe, guys, as you mentioned earlier, na baka this is the start of the streak for Global Esports.
Yeah, and just to add also Bazzi being the MVP for Global Esports, I think it attributes doon sa mga flank plays niya. Kung saan nahanap niya talaga the rest of Talon who's trying to go for the flanks, and Bazzi really deserves yung spot niya bilang MVP for the second game.
Exactly, and he's been very consistent ever since our first map on Split, doing it again here on Icebox, and it also feels really nice to see, just aside from Bazzi here, we have SK Rossi and Patty. These 2 players are trying to be parang yung storyline dito is these 2 teams have these 2 players that they're trying to reintegrate back into their teams. They haven't been they've found victory without these players, but now we're also seeing them really kind of jive well together, and it's really good to see just everyone here just being nicely rounded out by each other. And looking at Bazzi here again, honestly, really getting in those rounds for his team. But going into this was a map chosen by Talon, and it looks like the scores were a little bit a bit closer. They did come prepared, but what do you think? In the end, what do you think maybe they could have done better here?
I think it's more like I'm gonna be focusing on the side of Global Esports debuting in Icebox here in VCT Pacific League. I think Talon, all in all, parang hindi lang sila ready as to what kind of gameplay Global Esports is gonna be showing up into this match. And with just agent compositions, alam mo, wala namang mali for Talon eh. They're trying to go with the meta, they're trying to go with the play, pero Global Esports just with the firepower alone, yun lang talaga yung isa sa, that's where they got the one up against Talon in this series.
I think yung question ko para sa Talon is why put Patefan on the Harbor? Well, that was a really interesting choice for me because usually we see Pati on a more active role, yung mga Kayo, yung mga Jet, or just basically any...
he does the Sage here.
And he does the Sage too, but again, when we do have that Harbor, we do tend to forego that Sage because Harbor will do the same thing, plus. And I guess there were times na parang naging dead agent yung Harbor nila kasi yung mga default nila sobrang bagal. Di nila capitalize yung high tide, yung mga cascade, and those are the things that Harbor is completely made for. You already have the Viper if you want to go for the slower defaults, but I feel like Pati was just no pun intended, a fish out of water.
Exactly, and I think, you know, may moments din na nakikita natin na I think maybe moments of hesitation. It could be also just kind of like reeling it back, not knowing if like this is the time to do it now or what. And I just feel like it could have, I don't think the agent pick was wrong, but I feel like it could have been used better.
Yeah.
Well, hey, it really boils down to firepower. That's how I see it. Global Esports, you know, a team pretty much composed of like top duelists around the world. They just maybe blended in together right well in this series, and medyo sad lang for Talon Esports kasi we've seen them again back in lock-in, although they would say na it's just a debut match to show kung sino ba yung nandito, pero at the very end Talon, we really expected them as well. I mean, like, you know, Raf here expected them to win, pero it's just not the result for just today.
Yeah, and you know, despite all of that, I'm still really happy to see things really click for Global Esports because it feels like this experiment was going on for such a long time. Other than that, akala ko maiba yung dynamic between Global and the rest of their players, especially when SK Rossi was having a more op-oriented playstyle this time around. Because again, Lightning Fast was providing so much space and all those jumps that Monyet just had free reign to do whatever, and Bazzi obviously... No, Bruce, come closer.
No, I'm jumping.
Wow.
He's
Jumping.
excited.
Happiness.
Because Global won.
Yeah, I know, guys. I was watching the game with you. So.
Have you joined, you know, I mean, I'm glad that, well, not glad, but more like, you know.
Make up your mind, Rebe.
Well, you know, it's good. I also want to highlight this team because, again, they're one of those teams that I guess has not gotten that highlight. They're a team that a lot of people were get skeptical about, and it's really nice to see them finally develop. And I guess that's actually really good timing for us because you know, we are going to be talking to Aaron in a bit for an interview, and I'm very curious to see, again, as the IGL, I'm very curious to see how he's managing to rein everyone in and just get everyone to kind of, you know, like it.
That was my question.
Well, I mean, again, I think that's the question everyone has for Global Esports. How did he get all of these players to work so well together? So I'm going to let you have that one. I think I'm going to have another one.
I have a different question.
Are you sure?
Just ask. It's fine.
How about none of us ask any question? We just let
We
Aaron
say, hey,
stand
Aaron,
there for
good
like
job.
5 minutes.
You know.
Good job, Aaron.
I don't know. What am I agreeing to here, guys?
Just agree with everything.
We just compliment Aaron to say, you know, we know that you did a good job, so good job.
I mean, I feel like we could be jumping right into that very, very soon.
That's right. And speaking of jumping, that's actually what we're gonna do right now. So we'll be jumping into our interview with Aaron. Hello, Aaron.
Hey, how's it going?
Hi, congratulations on your win. You guys did amazing. So we've seen you guys improve so much here in VCT Pacific League. Can you tell us, maybe how you guys have been training?
Yeah, so, ever since we assembled the team, like that with 6 or 7 duelist players, it's always been very hard to switch. It's a big ask. We have a lot of different cultures. So, it's always about fundamentals, the way the coaches, Spin, Big Time, and Eraser talk about, and we work really closely. So me and the coaches, we talk a couple hours every day before and after practice, and we kind of plan out the day. And the beauty of the day and why I love this job so much, especially with this team, is every day has different things that come up because of our cultures, because of our opinions, and it's all about keeping our head down and working hard. This win means a lot to me. It means a lot to our organization because the first 3 games were just so close in our eyes, and it's good to get one on the board.
Exactly. Again, super congrats to you guys. I really feel like this is such a deserved win and very, very exciting to see what else you have in store for us.
All right, so hey Aaron, here's my question for you guys. Going into the series, you had like almost every player that you have going into like the roster, getting into the game. Why is that so? Why are you like letting everybody go into the game right now here in week number 4?
Yeah, so well, there's two reasons why. First reasons why is because even if we wanted to do this in the past, we couldn't because of the visa issues and just the complication of the multiple nationalities. But the main reason why the coaches decided for this match was because we were just practicing and we realized that certain people were stellar, played really well in scrims on their certain role. And Golu, for instance, lightning fast, is a raise player, and that's something that we've been lacking in our arsenal a bit. And we found that it clicks really well with him. The switch for texture, the Korean Jet to playing Sage and Killjoy, some people might question that. I mean, it's a bit confusing, but he was an all-star today. He played amazing.
Oh, that really answers a lot of my questions in my head. Thank you so much. I have my other partner here in the panel, Ralph. Take it away.
Oh yeah, I mean, that also answered the question, how can you reel in a player like Moniette? But my question to you is, how did you manage to stop that aggression? I mean, we saw Garnet really go crazy on that defensive half, and quite honestly, you did kind of shut down Patty and just deny all of his value. How did you guys manage to do that?
I think there was a big turning point in that second half. As we saw, 6-6 in the first half, some good plays, some bad plays. But like, as you said, early in the second half, they were really aggressive on the A side, and they didn't give us a lot of options to kind of do what we wanted to do. And the turning point was when we realized that, they were just, brute forcing it, and we didn't want to fight them head on there. And the second we stopped doing that, they were able to, catch them on the rotations, have our lurkers go around the map. And it's really good that our team is working on that communication, because it's not always just me making every single call, shocking to the world. The IGL doesn't make every single call and every single movement. So, the team realizes different things, the coaches realize different things. And we realized that, there was gaps in the map, and we were, really lucky to exploit that.
Oh, really, really smart approach. Thank you. Big congratulations again, guys.
Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you, Aaron. Thank you so much for your time. Again, congratulations, and we hope to see so much more from Global Esports in the next few weeks.
Thank you.
Oh,
well, there you have it. Aaron is he's so well spoken. Again, for an IGL, you can see that he is really the source of the good communication. And as he said, he talks with his coach about it every few hours. How to get
Not only him, all of them.
Yeah.
Which the way he answered, and I really like there were things that he really clarified for us, because we were really dying to know why do this, and so apparently aside from the visa issues, they found out these players apparently meron talaga silang kayang ibugay, and pinalabas talaga nila dito ngayon.
I think it was really nice that he explained on how he approaches the game as an IGL, kasi merong IGL talaga na sobrang stick to my call and my call only, pero sobrang democratic yung approach niya. Everybody has a say in it. We'll just see how everybody can fit into that plan.
Exactly. I mean, that's kind of just, as a leader as well, it's just so good for him to have those qualities. And now, looking at our standings, again, this was the match that finally had Global Esports and Talon Esports finally deciding who turns that 0 into 1 first. And I guess it is Global Esports here now, climbing up the ladder 1-3 with Talon Esports still in that 0-4. But again, we are still week 4 into VCT Pacific. Kaya there's still a bit of time to get numbers on that standings. Raph is closing his eyes because he cannot believe what he sees. But again, we still have many more weeks of week play, and I think Talon did come very close in that second map. So I still think that I don't want to say not all hope is lost, but Talon definitely has still a lot more to show us. There's more to come.
Global Esports fan na ako since today.
Wow!
Parang ayun na, I think a very bold prediction, parang pupunta to ng playoffs tong team na to.
I mean, with the momentum they have, right, it's really not out of the question, especially with the organization that they've, again, just implemented. Yun nga, tanong natin kung paano ba ma-reel in yung mga duelists na ganyan, and Moniette really striving still in that type of environment, and it's kind of obvious who's my favorite player in that GE roster too. And again, the Korean Jet texture being put in a role like Sage and still managing to thrive is a really, really interesting process. And I guess, growth.
Yeah, and these players too, parang ready silang mag-adjust just to really get that W. And right now, parang they got their machines oiled enough to make things smooth. And excited to see them in the next weeks to come.
Exactly. And speaking of things that are, smooth transitions, we're going to talk about our sponsor for today. Of course, we have the Grab Unli Buhat Challenge, where you can win an all-expense-paid trip to South Korea to watch the VCT Pacific Championships live. All you have to do is scan this QR code and click Accept Challenge. Grab Unlimited gives you free delivery from every day from every single store. And on top of that, you can win VALORANT sprays, VALORANT gun buddies, VALORANT player cards, and of course, the grand prize to Seoul, Korea for the VCT Pacific Championships, where you will also get exclusive backstage access to hang out with your favorite players and casters. All you have to do is complete Grab food orders with the challenge. So one order will get you 1 raffle ticket, and you can get up to 10 raffle tickets with just 5 Grab food orders. So what are you waiting for? Baka ikaw mismo ang mapadala ni Grab sa VCT Pacific Championships.
Yay! And also, guys, remember to share the stream on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch to support VCT Pacific and your favorite teams. It's VALORANT PH on Twitch and VALORANT Esports PH on Facebook and YouTube.
Special thanks to our sponsors Logitech, Red Bull, Polo by Ralph Lauren, Grab Unlimited, HP Victus, and Zowie for making VCT Pacific League possible. So once again, big thank you to everybody, and thank you everybody for tuning in to us. Just talk about everything.
Exactly. It's a Monday. Although it's a Monday, alam ko, everyone is just off of work, off of school today. But again, thank you for joining us on our program. And we hope you enjoyed, some VALORANT again. Speaking of which, by the way, we'll be having some schedule changes for the next few weeks of matches. So schedules will be slightly changed. Don't worry, they are still on the same days. That is Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. We are just adjusting the time slightly. So be sure to check the official VALORANT Esports PH social media accounts to know the final schedule. And of course, don't forget to keep your notifications on so that you can get the notifications for when we go live the second that we do.
So, mga nagtatrabaho dyan, na nanonood sa atin. Parang nafe-feel ko na, alam mo yun, nasa meeting pero nanonood, nasa cellphone.
Yeah, your favorite second monitors.
Nanalo na sila tol. Nice one.
Nice one.
May mga ganun Oo, meron yan.
Well, I guess, again, that's it for us today. This has been week 4, day 12 of VCT Pacific. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you again next weekend.